What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
Man, I feel like life is good. It was a great weekend, a fun weekend. I got to chop with you multiple times this weekend.
Yeah.
My homie was in town this weekend.
Yeah.
G had a baseball game and won and went crazy this weekend.
You go for the cycle.
He actually had 2 doubles, scored like 4 times, and got player of the game. It was a
Okay.
little game ball, you know what I'm saying? So he had one. We killed the draft. Oh my gosh. As the steals we did. But then even on the podcast, you think about all the players that we took. I think all but one we talked about on this show, broke it down and stuff like that. So man, it was a vibe. And you know, even up the road, they had a good draft too. So it was across the board. It felt good. Just everything felt good, man.
I wasn't paying too much attention to that. All I know is Tomlin, he actually did it, bro.
Yo.
He completed the Infinity Gauntlet.
He did.
Like it was just a joke. Like there's no
did,
way.
bro.
Like he's
He
really not going to
definitely
pull this
did,
off.
man.
The 2 main targets in the draft
He
were
definitely
JPJ and Nick
did.
Herbig, and he found a way.
He definitely did. And we're going to get into, obviously,
Unbelievable.
how everything played out in the draft. But to just see how first night ends, and we're all like, oh, no. Like, are we going to do the JPJ, or is it going to be Brian Branch?
They're
Or is it gonna
talking
be
about
somebody
trading
else?
back, too.
Yeah. But it was just cool that got taken care of. So we'll definitely get more into that.
Yeah, it was a no-brainer. Just don't
Yeah.
make it too complicated.
Yeah. Well, because at first it was like, whoa, are we making it complicated? What we doing? What's the vibe?
Because we did pass up
We
on him
did.
in the first round
Not
when we
just
traded
him,
up.
Gonzalez, too.
Right.
Yeah.
But we must have really, this is my point with Broderick Jones, we must have really, really liked him.
I would agree
I don't
with
think
that.
you just trade up for an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Plus, with those cornerbacks still on the
I would
board,
agree.
they viewed him pretty highly. Now, I don't know
Yeah.
how they compared him to Skoronsky or Paris
Right.
Johnson because they were already off the board,
Mhm.
but still.
Yeah, no, without a doubt, man. So I loved, like I said, all of that. Then even post-draft, man, we had a nice free agent signing, a veteran in the NFL, man. So we'll definitely be talking
Yeah.
about him as well, man. So I like that move. But just across the board, man, it was a vibe. The Bleacher Report, man. Watching you first off was fire. Shout out to you,
Nah,
man.
come on, dude.
Electric, bro.
Nah,
Electric. Because everybody sees you when it's me and you up here. And obviously it's more so me in the A chair, you in the B chair. But on Bleacher Report, it was dope to see you having the rocket, man, being the guy and working the crowd and stuff like that. Nah, so I appreciate you letting me hop on with you for a little bit. But
That was a
vibe,
no-brainer.
bro.
Like,
It was a
Steelers
vibe,
taking
man.
JPJ in the second round was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer to have you on as a co-host.
Nah, man, I appreciate you, man. But it was a vibe. I was like, yo, Deke out here killing it, spinning the block multiple days. I was like, that's what I'm talking about right there, man.
It seemed like you liked the Bleacher Report chat a little bit better than ours, actually.
You know, the Bleacher Report chat, they didn't have
you
any...
say they were a little nicer
They didn't
to you,
have
huh?
any, they didn't hold any grudges towards me when I might have got a little bit excited talking about another team drafting a player. They were all cool with it. It was no pure blood, mud blood, any of that talk with Bleacher Report. I will say that. So I do want to salute the Bleacher Report crowd because they did show a lot of love. I don't know if it's real love, but they showed love. Okay, y'all might be more real because y'all feel like family over here. And you know when you go to your family house, your cousin ain't gonna tell you, hey man, you still look good. They gonna be like, boy, you need a haircut, man. Boy, hey man, you need to work out, hit the gym. So I do appreciate y'all because y'all keep me in check. But the Bleacher Report people, they tell me what I want to hear. They had me feeling real good about. I was like, you know what? I can rock both teams over here. I started to pull on my Steelers jersey with a Bills hat. I just felt like that was the play. You know? It did feel like that.
You're right. There was no pure blood talk or any of that being brought up. Just overall, great weekend. Really was.
Yeah,
I don't think you could really complain about our picks at all.
I would agree.
Across the board, we hit the nail on the head.
I would
Got all of
agree.
our needs. The draft shirt, too.
Yeah,
I actually
shout out
kept
to the
wearing it.
draft shirt.
I
saw you
actually
went
kept
golfing.
wearing it.
You went golfing in the shirt.
I had to because, dude, you don't have a day one like that and then
Yeah.
a day two and then stop
Excuse me.
wearing it.
Yeah.
I had to keep wearing it. And then we got Nick Herbig, so I just wore it for the rest of the draft.
I respect it, bro. I respect it.
I don't know what to do with it now, though. Some people are saying you hang it up, it's in the Hall of Fame. Others are saying that's the game day shirt
Oh.
for this whole
I
season.
can see it go both ways. I honestly can. Because it started out with such promise, and it wasn't just a one-day thing. It was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday thing. And it hit on all 3 days. So it does give you that feeling.
It would be
of-
funny if I just wear that shirt for
It would
Steeler
be.
games now.
It would be.
Wear like a Steeler hat, but no Steeler jerseys this whole season.
Just a little
Just
business
that shirt.
casual, you know? Yeah. I like it, though.
I
The shirt-
might. We'll
Save it
get
for
some
like a big-
considerations
we'll
here.
Say for like a big.
Like, can
moment.
I just wear it in general though?
I don't.
I like that
know
shirt a
about
lot.
that.
I bought it to like wear it and go out with it.
Deke, now you talking about taking the lucky shirt and putting it in regular rotation.
Yeah, they're saying hang it up for next draft.
Yeah,
Like, you only
yeah.
bring it back out. For
Yeah, you got to
the
be careful with
2024
that,
draft.
man. I think that shirt has lost its day-to-day wear, and it's only a special occasion
Oh
shirt
my
now, man.
God.
Maybe just go
I
get,
like that shirt,
Go get
man.
the same shirt. Just, have two. Have one for like the day-to-day and then one for Steeler big moments. Because that shirt clearly has something good going on. You probably shot golf good too, didn't you?
Yeah, me and my brother won.
See, that's what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
man.
we won
It's
by
definitely
like
the shirt,
3
bro.
strokes.
It was definitely the shirt, man. You can't wash it. Don't touch it. Just leave it. Just hang it up so it can air out. But you can't wash it, man. You just gotta let it ride, bro. Yeah.
What a dilemma. 'Cause I do really like that shirt.
The way this draft played out, I'm over here like, yeah, I'm not superstitious, but we might need to keep this routine really exact. Yeah.
I got big money on the Steelers over under total right now. I think I got like 300 on
You
it.
should.
I think I'm
Rightfully
gonna put
so.
some more. The odds probably shifted because of how good we drafted, but
Yeah.
8.5. I pretty much got that for even odds. I got 300. I think the first time I put money on it was like 100, it's plus 100,
Yeah.
and then I put 200 on it. I think I got it like minus 105.
I like it.
That's insane.
I
8.5.
like it. And I still wonder.
We won 9 games last
But
year, and
think about this, though.
everything's better.
I still wonder, even with us having the draft that we did, do we still move up that much? Because you think about the AFC North, we obviously know the Bengals are the Bengals, but because of what the Ravens were able to do this weekend too, with Lamar coming back, does everybody still go on that hype train? So we still should have the good odds, is what I'm basically saying. So y'all heard what
You're saying
Deke
the
is
value
already-
might still be there.
Absolutely, you haven't missed out just yet because we know people are gonna make a big deal out of that. So, if you still want to get in with these good odds, this is how you do it. But make sure you tap in with DraftKings. Promo code Moats. This ain't even for them today, but salute them anywho. Yeah, man.
Quick thing I saw over the weekend. I guess you could throw this in.
Oh, yeah. What you got?
Deke
for?
thoughts or
What you got? What you got?
Deke's intro, whatever.
Ah, yes.
Jack Harlow thinks he's the second best white rapper of all time.
Oh, hold on. You got to chill, bro. He say what? There's no way he said that. There's no way he said that. He said that for real?
I think he's good.
That's cool. That's cool.
I don't think he's better. I put Mac Miller at 2.
Mac Miller,
I went
Machine
through it.
Gun Kelly. Shoot, Macklemore, they had a little bit longer run than he has right now. With the thrift store and all that other stuff. Yeah, I mean, he won album of the year, though.
Jack Harlow's got some hits though. He's got some bangers.
Macklemore got some too. That's what I'm saying. It's still early,
Yeah, but
though.
if Thrift Shop is the banger, it's a good song, but
And it's his. No feature.
I think some of Jack Harlow's songs go harder.
Do they have features? Yes or no?
Features?
Yeah. That
I
does
couldn't tell
matter.
you. I couldn't
So
tell
a
you
feature meaning like
off
if
the top of
Drake
my
is
head.
on the song with them, because we know the big Churchill Downs ones does have Drake up there. You know,
I'd probably put Mac 2.
Mac Fire.
MGK, you brought him up.
He
I
got
actually
a
like
run.
more of his rock.
He got a run though.
I think his punk rock's really
Man.
good.
But he didn't have a run, man. Just trying to think.
Paul Wall.
For Wall definitely had. Let's not act like just because it's Houston style rap. Don't act like that'll be like acting like Bun B and Pimp C ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Slim Thug and all
Who do you
them
got it
cats.
to?
I would definitely go Paul Wall off the top of my head, just because Paul Wall had a legit run. The Houston movement, that Chopped and Screwed, all that, man. He was coming out. Mike Jones, Slim Thug. He was part of all of that right there. He made wearing grills dope. Like, obviously grills were cool, but think about it, Paul Wall. That was his movement to really put it on. Yeah.
It's a good song.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Paul Wall got a little catalog. Shoot, I even take it OG, man. You probably don't know this cat, but Bubba Sparks. He had a little little country like puffy
I know a
white
few
dude.
of his songs.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So it's like
Someone's bringing up Logic, Yellow
Logic, man. In terms of Logic's
Vanilla
bars,
Ice.
Vanilla Ice, he had a run too. But like Logic lyrically, man, he rap circles around Jack Harlow. If you talk lyrics, he do got some fire songs too. Yeah. This is interesting. So
I
he
think I'm going
he
Mac.
called himself the second best white rapper.
Harlow might be in the top 5. He might be 3 or 4. I have to look into it more. I just don't think he's 2. Russ. Myron Bennett saying Russ.
Say it, Russ.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Jack Canister. Weird Al.
Posty. Shout out to Post Malone.
Oh.
What are we talking about, bro? It's not even a debate.
If he
it is
counts,
not even a debate.
ooh,
It is not even a
Does
debate,
he
man.
count?
Yes, he count. Why wouldn't he count? Just because he's showing you that he can do more than just rap doesn't mean he doesn't count. Post Malone, for a fact, starts out his first banger, White Iverson. That is not anything but a rap song, bro. Yeah.
If he counts,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, his first 2 albums, pretty much 80% of those songs were hits.
And anything he features on, he goes crazy on as well.
Michael Tiger doesn't have posts as a rapper. Ooh, Lil Deke.
Shout out to Lil Deke. Okay, shout out to Lil Deke.
He's got some bars. He's got some creativity in his lines.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd still have Mac Miller right now. And then pending what we categorize Post Malone at.
This is just funny. I just listened to the guys we talking about, and if Jack Harlow is the second greatest white rapper of all time,
I can't say he's
boy.
He might be top 5.
Either way, whew, I'm just glad that we have diversity in terms of music.
He needs to keep it up, though.
Ooh, he do. Lord, yeah. If he's in the top 5 of greatest white rappers all time, yeah. Definitely gotta keep that up, man.
NF. He's like an Eminem wannabe. He sounds just like him. Shays, Post and Logic both still better than Harlow. He ain't got a song with Mozzie and Big Burn.
Shout out to Mozzie too, man. Let's go.
Devontae Gray, AB and Elbow.
Benny Snell. Benny Snell just dropped the album out. Did you hear that?
What, are you serious?
I swear. It's called Snell, yeah, no cap. Pull it up on your IG. You can hear like a little bit of his song too. You definitely hear some of the song. You can't play it out on the joint, but he definitely got a little song, man. Got a whole little album he dropped.
He's got a whole website, snellyeah.com.
Yeah, he got a whole, I'm telling you, bro. Yeah.
Man, he's trying to get me to sign up for
So
an email newsletter here.
That's the play, man. If you're an independent artist, you got to get those email address, man, so you can send it directly to your consumer and build a direct fan base, man. That's the
He
new
posted
way.
on his Twitter?
Yeah, Twitter and IG.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
I'm on his Twitter.
It's definitely on the IG. I don't know about Twitter. It's definitely on the IG.
Okay.
Yeah, because I saw it on IG. I started to send it to you too, bro.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So you like it?
No, I just going to send it to you. Just so you could get an
You're not a
opinion on it.
fan.
I didn't say that either. I just said I was going to send it to you so you could get a chance to check it out. That's all.
Okay, where's this thing
Yeah.
at? This is his link?
Yeah.
This is it?
Go down. It's a hard post he has, bro. Yeah, there it is right there.
200 miles an hour?
I don't know what the name of it was. It's just on
This
the
is
IG.
one of the songs.
Yeah.
Is this the best one? You want me to play it?
Not for them, but for you. Yeah.
Right now?
Go for it so you can hear a little bit of it, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't mind? It's gonna
It's a little
playing
bit.
a little bit.
It's a little bit of it. That's what I said. It's probably easy to put. Uh-huh.
Oh, and it's got us playing. It's got
yeah.
us. Hold on. It was playing us
That's why I
from the
was trying to
YouTube.
tell
I was
you.
like,
That's what I was trying to tell you from the beginning. Pull it on your phone, bro.
I was like, what is going on here? Okay. I muted us on. We were talking on YouTube over him rapping.
Lord.
Likes those 808s, huh?
You know what I'm saying, man? He a little auto-tune on it, you know what I'm saying? Keep it low-key. You ain't got no response.
I'm cool with Snell.
We both are. That's why I wanted to talk about it. That's why I even acknowledged it. I even liked the post. I like the post. I hit the little heart button on it. I hit the little like button.
Yeah,
man.
he was a fan of me smoking those packs.
You feel me? So what was you saying?
I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of his music though. I'm a fan of him. I don't know about his
Fair
music.
Fair enough.
I listened to 30 Seconds though. Maybe I could give him more of a chance.
Yeah. I'll just say this. He is going in a direction that is different than a lot of what is out right now. So, at least in that vein, man, shout out to him for the creativity. I'm always going to support people that are doing something positive, all right? Because he could be taking his time and resources and doing God knows what. So, shout out to Benny Snell and his album. Yeah, like I said, man, y'all check it out if y'all want to, baby. But yeah.
That wasn't.
Yeah. It was different. It was different. But that also came out this weekend too, man.
No, thanks.
You know what I mean?
They're saying Logic might not count. The King Herc says Logic is half black.
So hold on. So we're doing it has to be 100%.
I don't know. He's just bringing up a point.
Oh Lord, I guess because if we talking 50%, do you make a case for Drake? Maybe, right?
Oh, to put him in the conversation.
Could you?
Oh. He wasn't on the list whenever
I was
I
about to say,
went
'cause
online
if I remember,
to try to see
Caucasian
someone else's
mom,
rankings.
Black dad, yeah. But I thought it was
Maybe
like,
that's why I didn't see
yeah, that's what I
Logic
thought it was
in
like
the
100%. Yeah. So if it's
Okay.
100%, then that's it. Yeah. All good.
Yeah, Mac Miller too. Right now, we gotta look into more of Post Malone. Is he a rapper and whatnot? But I think I got Mac at 2.
All good.
Jack Harlow, solid. Maybe top 5.
I'm gonna just go Post Malone and yeah, y'all can have whatever y'all want on the rest of that list. No problems, man. No problems. Shout out to Beastie Boys too, Corey Flores. You're absolutely right. Ain't none of them touching them either. Alrighty. But with that being the case, man, you ready to tap in today? Cause we do got a lot we're gonna get into today, man. We got a lot. This draft. See these comments coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, I did also want to take time to acknowledge because, you know, us iPhone users, right? Us iPhone users, when we open up our calendars, it shows us what's the theme or what's going on in terms of holidays. And today is the start of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. So did want to shout that out, man, because we have a lot of Asians. And
They dropped some cards for Madden, actually. They got a Heinz Ward card.
I was about to say that the poly vibe is big time. We obviously know in terms of Colton Choi Fu, he shows love. So we definitely want to shout that out in terms of that being the start of this month today as well. So yeah, man. Shout out to the iPhone. But with that being the case, let's start the show how we always do. Let us know where you are tuning in from in the comment section. We'll give you those big boy shout outs to start the day's show. And make sure I hit that like button on the front of this thing. Subscribe if you have not done so just yet. And hit that notification bell, baby.
Light Skin Jesus brings up G-Eazy.
Light Skin Jesus, Lord. G-Eazy got some hits. Yeah,
G-Eazy has some radio hits, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm putting him in the top 5, though. I don't know if I even got him in the top 10. Brandon Clark, 540, Roanoke, Virginia, A+ draft.
Hey, let's get it.
Rod Dollars, the 330, Youngstown, Ohio. Share line, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Skydiving Heck, 419, Sandusky, Ohio.
Shout out.
Jason Canister, Southwood, Torrance, California.
Let's get it.
Mike Hood, the 614, Cebus.
Shout out to Cebus. Columbus.
Dark Eye, 919, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
Tito Whitaker, the 360, Chameleon.
Let's get it.
He's tuning in from the 817, Fort Worth, Texas. Funky town.
Let's go.
William Redmond, Dayton, Ohio. Bart Basquiato, 805, Thousand Oaks, California.
Oh, man. I'm so sorry I forgot this guy's name. I definitely should have shouted him out when we were talking white rappers. Action Bronson. Boy, Mr. Bronsellini. Come on, man. He's definitely number 2 if we talking exclusive rapping. All right. Now I'm back. Let me tap. Can I tap in real quick, Deke? Let me get in here real quick since Action Bronson has stole my mindset. But I got Sajan Patel tuning in from the 918, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Then after that, Brandon Acuna, the 915, El Paso, Texas. And he says Nick Herbig, a.k.a. Mini TJ. Definitely love that. Then Farron Bradford tuning in from the 918, Tulsa, Oklahoma. You love to see that too. Xavier Caldwell, the 864, out of Greenville, South Carolina. I got you, player. I got you. Jesse Green, the 2-1. Tuning in from the 269, Michigan. Eddie Spaghetti, the 818, California. Love that. And then we can't forget about Luke Plesniak. You know, they tuning in from the 410. That's Maryland, baby. Home of our 7th round draft pick as well, man. So salute that. Then from there, man, tapping a couple more of these. Big facts, the 412. South Hills, Pittsburgh. Calvin Foley, the 606, Harlan, Kentucky. And then I will end it with Shay Z in the 209, Modesto, California. Let's go.
Super chest.
Yeah, let's tap in with the supers, man. We know where this thing is going anyways, though. It's a ton of reactions today, man. Shout out to these new draft picks.
Ryan McPherson actually had a take on overall rap. I didn't know if you had an opinion on this. He said, Travis Scott will be the GOAT of rap. No cap.
Travis Scott fire. I like Travis, man. I like his energy. I have no issues with Travis Scott, man. Yeah, just keep putting out music. That's my whole thing, man. Yeah. Right now, I feel like anybody we can make a case for, but it's all about consistency and longevity. When we talk about an Eminem, like this dude has done it for how long? You talk about a Jay-Z, a Drake, dude's done it for how long? You know what I mean? Wayne, how long? So it's like Travis Scott, absolutely, he's making a case, but you got to keep it going. Same with like a Young Thug, even though we know he's incarcerated right now. People like him, I think of, Jeezy, Gucci, the Baby, Lil Baby, all these people, they got to keep that run going, man.
President Nitty, really the best pod, not just saying that. We a whole vibe in here. In Con we trust. Steelers going to start getting media attention. They juked us with JPJ at 32.
They definitely hit us with the pump fake, man. But you're absolutely right, man. Omar Khan, for that to be his first draft, I thought he did a heck of a job, man. Being patient where he needed to be, being aggressive where he needed to be, and ultimately, man, hitting on the players that I think all would agree in terms of like the mass majority of us that those are the positions of need and those were the specific players that we felt just strong about. And when you get that type of dynamic, both offense, defense, I just think it's a good initial, introduction when you're talking about this draft. Obviously, we got to see these dudes get on the field, but in terms of the initial portion of this thing, I think he did a great job for it to be his first draft.
And we got them all in great spots.
Yeah.
Broderick Jones, that was around his range. Keanu Benton, that was around his range. But then Joey Porter Jr.,
to get him
32 was a steal. And you even heard Omar Khan talk after. We had a first-round grade on him.
Yeah.
And then Darnell Washington
in the third. Oh, my
insane.
gosh.
Thank God for whatever these knee
it.
reports are popping out, and
Seriously,
everyone was
just
getting
a
scared
scope.
to take him.
Yeah,
We'll take him.
just
That's
clean
fine.
it up. We ain't tripping on that at all.
Hey, give us Darnell at 93.
Yeah.
Everyone was mocking him second round.
Seriously.
Like if we were to get him, it would have had to been a 32 or 49.
Yeah.
He was in a legitimate conversation for 32 whenever we were just sitting there. And JPJ was there, Brian Branch. A lot of people in the chats and comments were saying, hey, what about Darnell?
Yep.
Like I was calling for JPJ, but it wasn't out of question that Darnell would have still made sense there.
Yeah, either one. And for us to be able to hit both of them, and then
he was like, what, the 10th or 11th tight end taken off the board? It was ridiculous.
But then to still be able to turn around and get a Nick Herbig as well. I mean, across the board, man, this was definitely one of those ones where you're just looking at Omar like, man, how are you doing this? This board is falling to you perfectly. You're reading it right. Like, let's go, man. Let's go. So definitely in Con we trust.
Right. We lost our 4th-round pick by trading up for Jones. Just got it back by trading back in the 3rd, and then Darnell Washington's still there.
And the trade that we made was still better than when we looked at the market. And what I mean by that is when we moved up in the 1st round, we traded our 3rd round, our 120th overall selection, and we moved up 3 spots. If I remember correctly, it wasn't Philly, but somebody had traded with Philly and only moved up 1 spot. And they literally had the exact same deal that we had.
Eagles.
Yeah, it was the Bears Eagles. They had the same compensation that we had to move up multiple spots, but they only moved up 1 spot. So to even see that still made us feel good as well, man. But Omar did his name, man. Shout out to Omar.
Yeah, and you brought up Herbig. That was around his range.
Yeah.
Probably the peak would have been 3rd. Could have seen him fall into the 5th, but that made sense in the 4th. And then Corey Trice Jr. is apparently a steal. Yeah. Everyone thought he's like a top 100 or top 120 prospect whenever you're looking at some of these analysts and how they rank him. We got him in the 7th. You got to be kidding me. A great guy to pair with JPJ for this draft class, too. 2 physical corners. President Nitty, KP8 got that. I can't tell what emoji
wolf?
this is. This either looks like a mouse or a wolf.
It's definitely a wolf. It's got to be a wolf, right?
Yeah, he's definitely trying to say dog. KP8's got that dog in him.
That's it.
Shout out to Deke's reactions. Had me.
Salute.
I know why he brought up the wolf, because I think the dog emoji looks a little like a child drew it. You know what I mean? It looks like a little puppy dog. Where it's like
a cute dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I see
like
what
you bring up that wolf.
Yeah.
It's got
hit
that
different with
dog
the wolf.
mentality.
You're
right?
right. If it's a little cute, like, oh, he a puppy. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, good call. Nice job using the wolf emoji.
Yeah, I'd say we do that going forward.
Wolf emoji instead of the puppy.
Wolf emoji equals dog in this chat.
Unless you want to talk Duke dogs, because that does look a little bit like the...
Well, the one, look at what Rod Dollar just put in the chat. Actually, that's not bad. That's not like a puppy.
That's the JMU dog. That's the one I like to go with. He got the little fluffy ears. Yeah.
I wonder how it shows up on iPhones.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
I know, because I know which one you referred to. It definitely looks like kiddie-ish. Yeah.
Because sometimes the emojis show up different on desktops versus the phone.
Absolutely.
But that one doesn't look like a puppy. That one looks like a normal dog.
Hey, look respectable right there.
Yeah. Other Jacob, hashtag picket fence, making fresh toast. Love the draft. What a weekend.
Shout out to the French toast. I'm a big French toast guy myself. Yeah, the draft was fire, and it was a heck of a weekend, man. Electric, man. Absolutely.
We got Tito Whitaker gifting an Arthur Moats membership to Jay Flame.
Shout out to Tito for being a dope person, and Jay Flame, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Love that, man. Let's go.
Just like Mike 8, just giving us some support.
Nah, shout out to Just Like Mike 8, man, for the first super as well, man. First super chat for him, man. Respect.
Farron Bradford, Tom Lee Shiesty masks because we coming for it all. The con artists handled business. Still crazy how the league gifted us Porter and Washington.
No, big facts. Not just Omar Khan. Let's make sure we give Andy Weidel some love as well. When you talk about the physicality, man, when you talk about building these trenches offensively and defensively, we know Andy Weidel, that's one of his staples, and we obviously know coming from Philadelphia, and they're still following suit with that. But no, man, I thought across the board, all three of those dudes worked extremely well in concert. And, getting us these picks that they got us, man, we needed that, man. Shout out to them dudes, though, man. Shout out.
Bart Basquiat is doubling down. He's saying he's getting himself a Porter and Jones jersey.
Oh, respect.
We got any number confirmations here?
I
know Broderick 77
was 9, right?
He can't. Boswell.
I thought, all right, so
that's all those jersey swaps you're seeing.
Oh, fair enough.
He's got to go 5.
I put him in 5.
I think you got to go 5.
Yeah, because we know Broderick's wearing 77 for his teammate that passed.
0 for Washington.
Love that.
It just adds up.
It has to be perfect.
You have to.
Yeah, keep it going. Absolutely.
The others, I don't think it matters that much. I don't think there's like a specific number that we're looking at. Because
like with
saying,
Keanu,
hey, Keanu Benton, you need to be this number. I don't think there's anything that sticks out.
What about Herbig?
I can't think of anything. Is there one that you're like, dude, you got to do it?
I don't know.
What was his college number? Wasn't it something with a 1 in front of it? Or something in the teens?
It was 19.
It was.
Yeah, I don't know what we putting him in. I don't know.
Calvin Austin's 19. Yeah, there's nothing that sticks out. You know what I mean?
Put him in 16.
If that's available, sure.
Yeah, because like can't
I got no problems with that.
I was just 18 taking 17. Yeah. So yeah.
Bacon Cowboy, what's up, Moats and Deke? Tuning in live for the first time since Thanksgiving.
Shout out
on that
to you,
finals
baby.
week grind.
Let's go, man. Hey, salute you two on finals week, man. Take care of business, all right? But make sure you're having fun at the same time.
Farron Bradford, offense should live in 12 personnel.
Man, 12 and 13 personnel, I'm all for it. We talked about this prior to the draft, and bringing in a Darnell Washington, man, I just think that it opens up so much for this offense. Number one is going to upgrade the running game situation. Zach Gentry could block. Pat Freiermuth could block. Neither one of those guys block like Darnell Washington. When you talk about the ability to not just have a blocker that is capable of being an extra old lineman, but now when you're talking about throwing the ball out of this personnel grouping, Darnell Washington, he's not Pat Freiermuth in terms of receiving, but he is an upgrade over Zach Gentry in terms of the receiving department. Not just in terms of hands catching, but also run after catch ability. He checks off both of those boxes. So now you're able to still keep teams in that base defense look. Because if you go small ball, Najee's going to be able to big boy bully you with those type of tight ends on the edge. But at the same time, because teams are going to try to play you in base, now if we want to pass out of this or potentially make the formation look condensed, but walk Pat Freiermuth out there to the slot and things like that, now you got a linebacker on Pat in space. Those are the type of matchups that you love. And if you're Kenny, you'll be able to take full advantage of those type of things because of a Darnell Washington being on the field. So, yeah, I love this a lot. And then when we really want to handicap teams, you bring Gentry out there or you bring Connor Hayward out there because it makes you have to play 13 personnel and it makes you have to play big bodies on defense. But we actually got guys that can run routes out of this grouping now. So, to me, man, it makes it a lot more lively and a lot more exciting from my perspective at least.
I already read this, but the King Herc said logic is half black. President Nitty, I'll pay to say I'm a Posty hater.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with Posty hating on them. Hey, all artists are acquired taste. That's what make artists artists. who is the greatest artist of all time? You're never going to get 100% people to agree on it. Is it Michael Jackson? Is it Prince? Is it James Brown? Is it Madonna? Is it Beyonce? Is it Adele? Is it Rihanna? You see what I mean? Like, we going to have somebody that's going to hate something about somebody. So, yeah, man, if you're not a poster guy, ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's a bad take.
There is nothing wrong with that, man. To each their own.
Just like Mike 8, Big Crit should be on everyone's top 10.
Shout out to Big Crit. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Big Crit,
He is underrated.
Man. He bought that. Absolutely, man. Shout out to Big Crit. I see Steve Brooks talking about Lupe. Yeah, Lupe Fiasco is another one of them dudes, man. Yeah.
828 style. What's up from 828, Hickory, North Carolina? Hey, guys.
Shout out.
Have you seen the Calvin Austin video of him running the 40 as a 4.03, but they stop it at 4.32?
Yes. That was, one of the big talks about Calvin, and that's why everybody was going even more crazy about his speed. We're just waiting on him to be back healthy, man, and get an opportunity to go out there and show it now on the football field, man. So, yeah, we did see that, though, man, because he got some wheels.
Brella 92, gonna get a Con jersey. Trades, free agent, drafting, cap space. He's killed it in every phase. The franchise is in good hands.
I would agree, man. I would agree. So far, so good. I'm really enjoying the start to this thing, man. So, yeah.
Russell Schwartz, Moats, I got a guy at work that looks like Post Malone, but he's short as hell, so I call him Posty the Garden Gnome.
Hey, bro, what? Posty, man, he different. I like him, though, man. I like him. My man gave me rock star, rapper. He gonna be yadded up in terms of the tats. He gonna stay puffing on that Newport. I'll be like, bro, Posty, what is going on? Just keep making that music, though, bro. Just keep making the music.
Skydiving Heck, how we feeling about our MLB room? Good
so
enough.
Far, so good, man. They still taking care of business, man. So let's hope they keep it going, man.
That would probably be the one critique, is we didn't get one of those athletic linebackers like a Sanders or a Simpson or anybody. Yeah. But
yeah,
you could definitely spin it. And we were talking about this on Bleacher Report.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was that pressing of a need compared to maybe some of the other positions for this season.
Mm-hmm.
We can get away with Keanu Neal as dime linebacker. We got two thumpers. Also, let's see what Mark Robinson's development looks like.
Yeah. And when you talk Nick Herbig, man, he's the interesting one.
True.
He's a true outside, but they're going to flirt with, I see them flirting with potentially having him do some of the third inside linebacker stuff as well, just because of how he moves. I do think he is capable of that. At Wisconsin, they did utilize him in both elements, but it was more so zone principles. So in terms of dropping to a hook or a curl flat, which is, okay, hook, you're talking about the hashes middle of the field. Curl flat, we're looking at a yard or two outside by the numbers. He's able to do all those type of drops from a zone standpoint. I personally think that he's athletic enough to match up with man-to-man on running backs as well. And with certain tight ends, I think you can be able to get away with him up there. The thing that he's going to bring to the table, though, is he's going to be that third rusher legitimately. But I just think that he has that versatility where when you're talking about the rover linebacker or the guy that moves around, he has some of those characteristics, and he was used like that at Wisconsin also. So I could definitely see us following suit with that, with him here as well, potentially.
Skydiving Heck has joined the upper room.
Shout out to Skydiving Heck, and welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
The King Herc, I'm just saying, if you have a creative liberty to say our word, LOL, you don't count.
What's the R word? Am I missing something? If you have the creative liberty to say, huh? Oh, I thought you meant like the R word. I was like, what's the R word? He means like our word. I see what you're saying. Cool. Sure. I don't really know how do you take that right there, Deke? I don't know. How do you look at that right there, man?
What's he referring to? Is he referring to his logic comment? Is that what it is?
I feel like it is.
I don't know enough Logic songs to know what he's said and not said.
Well, I have heard maybe what he might be referring to, but I can't 100% confirm it or not because I don't be tapped into him on that type of level to know all of that, if that makes sense. But yeah. Shout out to our word.
Trevor Hamilton. I was sick to my stomach when the Steelers passed on Gonzalez, but felt better when they got JP in the second. Didn't think he'd make it to the second. Neither did we initially, but he kept falling.
Yeah, we were definitely surprised by that. Yeah, Christian Gonzalez and JPJ both being on the board. Y'all know we were both high on both of those guys. But, everything worked out for us, and that is the draft. We talked about this on the stream with, multiple times I feel like this weekend because, you get the question, right? Why is a guy dropping? Does that mean he's overrated? Does that mean he sucks? And that's not the case. The draft is the draft. It's about needs. It's about if I need this tackle more than I need this corner, then I don't care if this is the top-rated corner right now. I'm going to go tackle. If I need a receiver instead of a linebacker, I don't care if this is the top-rated linebacker. I'm going to go with that wide receiver because I need it more. So when you throw that into the equation, that's how guys like Christian Gonzalez falls. That's how guys like JPJ falls. Guys like Brian Branch, how they fall because of the positional needs and just how the board is working at the time. I'm sure none of us anticipated 2 running backs going in the top 15 picks. But when that happens, there's a cause and effect. When you talk about the quarterbacks to go when they went, cause and effect. And I just think that, that was part of the reason why those type of dudes were available to us. But I'm super glad that they were because you just get better value that way, honestly.
Landon Bowling giving us some support.
Shout out to Landon, man. And that's his first super as well, man. So we appreciate you from the heart, man.
A2A style. Andrew McCutcheon baked out in them elephant prints I did for him the other day.
Let's go.
Oh, damn. I wish I would have seen him.
Bro, and Kutch be having fire on his feet, too. So to know A2A styles contributing to that heat, major respect, baby. Major respect.
He got to trot around the bases, and the con artist is real. Bad dude.
Big facts. Yeah, man, I feel like I saw Kutch get a double. Was it a double? And then he scored from, second the other day when I was watching. I was like, all right, Kutch, I see you still breaking out the wheels. You still got a little juice in there.
Yeah, they have 20 wins.
Mm-hmm.
They lost yesterday, but...
Oh, so they did. See, I remember seeing them on, I think it was Saturday.
I think they're 20-9.
Yeah.
They're 20-10
Because I saw them at 19. It was 19-9 that time. So, makes sense then. I like it.
Landon Bowling has joined the upper M.
And FML. So, both of you all, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Kenyatta Foley. Excited for Herbig in the 4th, and David Perales, undrafted free agent, as our backup edges. Both super productive. Perales' motor is insane. Big steal for an undrafted free agent.
I like it, man. I have not looked at our undrafted guys in terms of cutting tape on them just yet, but Wednesday's show, I definitely, man, will give you a lot more in-depth on those dudes, man, because we did pick up some positive names and some positions where we didn't address in the draft. Obviously, quarterback being one of those things, but Wednesday, man, we'll definitely tap into a lot more on those undrafted guys.
Sean McCartney. Colbert ended his era giving us great players to build a team around. Omar hit the ground running, building a team through signings and a great draft.
I would agree, man. In terms of this transition, I feel like it's been pretty smooth thus far. So far, so good. So let's keep this thing rolling. Let's keep these picks working out and continuing to be productive, both the draft picks and the free agency pickups that we do as well.
John Easton, UCKP8, referred to himself as Big Ken on Cam's pod.
I did not. He's Big Ken?
I need to see this for myself.
How do you feel about that, man?
I need to see how he said it.
What's the acceptable manner and what's the unacceptable manner of Big Ken being said?
Joking manner, I think could be acceptable. I still got to see it. Because it was funny whenever KP8's first preseason game was going on and he was doing good, and then my friends are texting me, "Oh, it's Big Ken, it's Big Ken." Like that's funny, joking this and that. But like, as his actual nickname, little blasphemous, little blasphemous.
Even this your man's though. This your man's.
I think it could be used as tongue in cheek. It's not his actual nickname though.
But this is your man's though.
No.
Your man's can't get it?
No.
This is your man's under your
bring
man's
up,
man's.
as I'm saying, to bring up, have a little joke with it here, but that's not his nickname.
That's
no.
He's just not a little, just like, oh, that's Big Kid / KP8.
Like I might even say it. Who knows? I might say it once or twice this season, like after a touchdown. But
baby.
Again, it's like as a joke.
We need to get it on tape though. We need you to do it one of your rants in the stadium, man.
But again, I'm giving you the context of it being like a joke. It's not his nickname. It's not his nickname.
Nope, we're not hearing
like that's
that.
the funny. That's the irony of it.
As soon as we get Deke saying it, whether he's on the camera, whether he's in the stadium, we all running with it, all right?
Zach787. Did y'all see the video where Kenny met Broderick for the first time with Cam? Cool vid.
I did not.
I saw him. I saw them meet, and they dapped up.
Right?
Yeah, they just dapped up. I didn't see the rest of the video, so I don't know what their interaction was like during the interview. But
yeah, I didn't see that part.
I saw them just. It was like it looked like a normal dap up.
It did, man.
Like you just met a new person for the first time.
Yeah, the new guy that's gonna be protecting him. Yeah.
Daniel Coleman, y'all see we signed Johnny Sins, undrafted free agent.
Like I said, I did not personally, but tapping into all of the undrafted dudes on Wednesday, man. Big breakdowns on all those dudes, man. More in-depth analysis. But no, I did not. So shout out to Johnny Sins, though, man.
Mike Hood, hey, Moats and Deke, shout out to the chat. I've been on a high all weekend with this draft. To me, as I said in the watch party, A+ draft. Deke, I was M Hood 7 on Bleacher.
Shout out, see? Shout out, man. I like that right there, man. That's how you show love and support, man. Absolutely. And yeah, I'm with you, bro. I was high all weekend as well. With the draft. Yeah. Yep.
President Nitty, Mel Kiper graded us a B+. He got in my veggies. Hashtag
free thug. Free thugger, man. Come on, free thugger, man. Jeez. But I don't know. It ain't looking too good for the homie right now. It ain't looking too good for him.
Mel Kiper's losing it.
Yeah.
He's definitely out of his prime right now if he's giving us a B+. Might be time for him to hang it up. I saw they did a 40th anniversary celebration for Kiper. It was like his 40th draft, I think, with ESPN. So they had the cake out and everything. You're giving the Steelers a B+. You've been doing this 40 years. I think you're done. Anything less than an A is ridiculous. It just goes to show you might not know ball anymore. It's sad. Always sad to see when people start to lose it and they don't know ball.
That's the beauty of opinions, though, right? We all get to have them, man. So all good, all good.
Mr. Affluenza, remember when you two brothers wanted Malik Willis?
Yeah, what's wrong with that, man? Nothing wrong with that, baby. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Well,
yeah.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's not wrong. There were reasons for it.
Absolutely.
There was a lot of context going back to going into the draft. I didn't even want quarterback that bad.
Right. It's a whole bunch of context that goes into it.
We brought in Mitch. I think I put quarterback as like a fifth or sixth need.
It was not a primary need. Absolutely.
So I thought, we have Mitch. Mm-hmm. He was a former number 2 overall pick.
Absolutely.
We could give him a chance.
Yeah.
And it seems like Malik Willis has the most upside out of all these guys.
Yeah.
And it seemed like we really liked him too.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really gung-ho about taking a quarterback. Yeah. And I didn't know what Matt Canada's system was going to be, too. If you were to tell me, if you're going to tell me Matt Canada's going to run a pro-style system, I would have said, okay, I think Kenny Pickett's probably going to fit the best with this.
Because Kenny was the most pro-style, right?
But everyone was talking about how, we had to get Big Ben out of here for Matt Canada's system because he's going to do more college stuff. He's probably going to run it more like the Ravens.
Yeah.
So if you're telling me Malik Willis had an arm like Michael Vick, but also can move around in the pocket and do stuff like a Russell. Like that was like kind of his optimal ceiling at the time. Exactly. You could have him wait and sit a year or two behind like a Mr. Trubisky. Like there were all these like reasonings behind it. There was a lot of uncertainty. Yeah. But seeing how things played out with Pickett and how we run our offense and stuff. Yeah. If you were to tell me we were going to get this season from Pickett and going back, like I would have taken Pickett hands down.
But that's
100%.
Called new information. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's very low hanging fruit and very easy to just, make that comment.
Listen, I wanted Eli Manning back at the 04 draft. Mm-hmm. Glad that didn't work out.
Yeah.
Very glad that didn't work out.
With that, bro.
It's the draft. Shit happens.
Exactly. Tell me who you 100% on.
Yeah, shit happens.
No.
It's all about who we got in house now.
Let's go.
That's the thing too. Because once you go to a certain organization, that could impact your success or failure rate in the NFL too.
And we've seen that league-wide.
Us bringing in certain guys, and that's why I like the Pickett pick when it happened. Yeah. All the quarterbacks were on the board, and we took him. Yeah. All the stuff that Colbert and Tomlin were saying afterwards as well was like, we had him as like a top 3 or 5 guy. We were actually going to trade up, but he ended up falling to us, and we couldn't make the pick faster. Yeah. So and Pickett going to the Steelers versus Pickett going to like the Panthers or Pickett going to a different
it's night and day.
It plays into it.
It's night and day. Absolutely.
Now I do think I do still have this theory.
Yeah.
If you got it, you got it. You'll figure it out.
I agree.
I do think that, but going to a good organization can
It
definitely
matters.
help. Yeah, in your development.
Exactly.
And just who you can be as a quarterback. Mr. Affluencer, remember when you? Oh wait, I just read that. I didn't hit the X button. We were about to talk more Malik Willis again, but it looks like they're moving on from him.
Yeah.
Will Levis.
But they only took him in the third, so it's no real responsibility. There's no obligation to him. So there's nothing wrong with that.
What do you think they're doing? They gonna get rid of Tannehill here?
Me personally, I wouldn't. Me personally, I'm riding with Tannehill. We'll see if
You trying to
Levis
trade
can
Willis?
develop. I don't
Or you
think
just
need
roll
to
with
try
all
to tell
three?
him. I think you keep all three. What does it hurt? You got 2 project quarterbacks behind Ryan Tannehill. Will Levis is a project in his own right, just in a different manner than a Malik Willis. But both of them quarterbacks, you're gonna have to develop. They're gonna need time. You could throw them out there and do the whole sink or swim. Yeah, you should figure it out. I think you're setting them up for failure. And I think that's what you saw a little bit with Malik Willis when he came into the situation last year. But you take Will Levis where you took him at, beginning of the second round. Was it the second pick in the second round, if I remember correctly?
Levis?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right after us.
Yeah, so it's like you still invested a little bit higher of a premium in him, but I still feel like it's Tannehill's job early on. Now, if the season gets out of hand, Tannehill gets hurt, I think you go Will Levis first up. But then after that, I mean, shoot, I don't think you got to move on from either one of them this year. I think after that, that's when you make a decision on how you want to do it.
We got AT.
Shout out to AT. What's happening, baby?
If you go to 3 hours, 48 minutes, and 28 seconds on the last podcast, I said we should trade back, collect an extra pick, and draft Darnell. Omar Khan watched it and did just that. You're welcome, Omar Steeler Nation.
I like it.
18 knows ball.
I do remember that happening at 28 seconds, too. I just want to throw it out there. It didn't happen at 29 seconds. At 28 seconds, it definitely happened. I do remember that. So shout out to you, AT. Absolutely.
Ryan McPherson, shout out to Drew Maggi. Great story.
Shout out to Drew.
Yeah, he's one of those dudes that has been in the minor leagues and stuff for I don't know how many years, but he's like 32 or 33 and made his first MLB start, I think, last week, and he's with the Pirates.
That's dope, man. That is dope. Man, it was a couple good stories like that, man. I like that Drew story right there. Did you see the Deuce Vaughn story?
No.
Man, so
I saw he got drafted.
Yeah, but his dad works on the staff, man. His dad was the one who actually gave him the call, man. And yeah. So it was a cool little moment right there, man.
Sean McCartney, how about King Ken rather than Big Ken? He's got to win a Super Bowl for that one.
Jeez. When do we call Big Ben Big Ben?
Immediately. I'm not messing.
So Big Ben was Big Ben immediately.
Yeah.
But Ken got to win a Super Bowl before he can be
King Ken?
What about Big Ken? If you say you can't call Big Ken, so can you call him King Ken?
No, because it's a playoff Big Ben.
But it's
we're saving that nickname for Big Ben. Again, it could be tongue-in-cheek. You use it as a joke here. That's not his actual nickname. KP8. I think KP8's been the one that has stuck on the most right now. Am I wrong? I thought it was going to be Kenny Pittsburgh. That didn't really happen.
I just call him the upgrade.
What else? Kenny Franchise.
Yeah. +1.
Pickett's. None of those. KP8's the one. I really
think it's
so.
the smoothest. That's what I call him, at least. Yeah.
Richard Arbiza, Johnny Sins, the GOAT doctor, bag boy, and teacher for real. And yeah, like we said, he got signed with the Steelers. Undrafted free agent.
I like it. Are
you breaking down that tape?
Man, I'll probably tap in. We'll see. Actually, I got a ton of tape that's about to drop, man. Absolutely.
Bombs away. The Big Ken thing had nothing to do with Big Ben. It was Cam saying Kenny has a new vibe to him, and the second year going from Little Ken to Big Kenny.
Okay. That's the context we need.
So
right
Kenny didn't actually say it.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, we're getting a bunch of fake news stuff on this right now in these supers. Come on. We got to get it together here. I know we had a good draft, but I think everyone's still hungover in this chat. Don't be dropping Big Ken references like it's nothing right now. You got me heated for like 5 minutes.
Y'all stop playing with Deke and these quarterbacks. Y'all know Deke don't play about these quarterbacks like that, all right? Lord. So it's okay if it's Cam then, right?
I still got to watch it.
All right.
I think as long as Kenny's not taking it on
Yeah.
in a serious fashion, I think it's fine for most people to say.
Okay.
John M., welcome to the upper room.
You was welcome him?
Oh, I was just reading it. My bad.
I was like,
It does say welcome to the upper room
was
underneath.
that the welcome? Like, it seemed like you
I was almost like reading it like a super chat. I think I'm hungover too. I'm sorry.
I'm definitely still high over, so you're all good, man. Don't worry. But John M., welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. It was one of them weekends, bro. It was one of them weekends. I feel like I lived in this room. I feel like this is what we did all weekend, bro. Just talk ball, watch tape, react to draft picks. The draft, man, was dope, though, bro. I like what the NFL has done, man. They've handled their business, man. They definitely have.
Skydiving heck, clowns, bungles, and ratbirds have no shot this year. The North is ours.
Let's
All
go.
the little brothers had their time.
Let's go.
This team could be real scary if Canada gets it right.
Let's go.
Unfortunately, I thought the Ravens had a decent draft.
Yeah,
I thought the Bengals actually did decent too.
I would agree.
It's unfortunate. I'm not happy about it.
I would agree. Cleveland not so hot though, huh?
For their picks
Yeah,
and what they had,
context
actually
matters.
they didn't
Yep.
do bad.
The context matters.
Didn't they get Ika on one of them? They got that receiver out of Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember their other picks, but they would have the worst draft out of anyone in the AFC North for sure. But
Because their draft is still.
I don't think it
Deshaun
was
Watson.
terrible. I don't think it was something you like point and laugh at. It was just they didn't have a pick till the third round, I think. Sean McCartney, remember when people said we were going to have a losing season, that Mike T was overrated, that JPJ sucked, that Omar Khan failed us? All we passed on was Gonzalez, but enough about the past. Here we go.
Let's go. Yeah, they've been hollering about Mike Tomlin gonna have a losing season and all this other stuff for a long time, man. But I think we're in a great spot right now, man. Yeah, that is gonna be interesting too, man. For the JPJ people that were like becoming contrarians towards his tape, what are they gonna feel? You know, now that it's a second round pick versus the whole 17th overall, because I do feel like a lot of people started to have some type of feelings about that. Oh man, at 17, he's not first round. Tell you this, he's that. But I'm like, now at 32, that goes out the window, correct?
I think it's a good pick.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like the value is insane right there.
It's a great pick.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, it's the draft.
It
Certain
happens,
teams
man.
value different things. Certain teams evaluate players in different ways. Like Commanders were looking for a cornerback.
Yeah.
JPJ was on the... Actually, Christian Gonzalez was also on the
All
board
of
for
them
them.
on the board. They went Forbes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they went Forbes. So I guess they
He was
really
with the-
valued
and Forbes
his
was the second
ability
corner.
to take the ball away.
Right. That was the second corner off the board. But that was the one thing that he did better than probably any of the other guys was his ability to take the ball away. But the knock on him is how small he is. So it's pros and cons to that. The beauty is now that we got homes for these players, we're going to get a chance to see that preseason. We're going to get a chance to see that regular season. And ultimately, we'll know who made away with it and who ultimately got caught holding the bag at the end of this thing, man.
Jonathan Conkle. Cam asked KPA, what do you want us to call you? Ken, Kenny, or Big Ken? KP8 answered jokingly saying, to you, it's Big Ken. That's funny. That's Kenny showing some humor.
But Kenny was the one who said it, though, huh?
It was definitely as a joke.
But Kenny did say it, though.
No, I said, initially, whenever the first comment was brought up, it was with the premise that Kenny said it.
But that's the part that got you
It's got to be a
hot.
joke. It's got
Then
to be a
at the
joke.
end, you was like, man, it didn't got me hot, but now I'm good. It was just Cam saying something reckless, but now I'm like, it comes back that it was
I
Kenny.
said it got to be in a joking manner.
That didn't seem like no
And
joke.
He literally said
They say
jokingly.
every joke got truth. You know that. It's like,
He's
oh,
making
we
a joke.
talked about.
He's not owning that nickname.
He is on it. He's leaning into it. He had three options. He could have went with Ken. He could have said Kenny. He could have said Big Ken. He could have said, just call me KP8. He chose Big Ken. Just remember that, man. So it's sitting there somewhere. Somewhere in the Kenny, I'm creating my own nickname. When I look in the mirror and I call myself something, every once in a while he might take that shirt off and say, I'm Big Ken. Ah, like the little kid off Little Giants. You know?
We'll see how it plays out. I think he was just having a joke with his friend Cam.
It just felt right. It's Big Ken. I told you.
No, it's seriously not his nickname.
I told you he done bulked up a little bit, man. The chest a little. You know what I'm saying?
Good. Focused on winning.
Mm-hmm.
Demetric Smith, Deke, don't get mad at us. Put the heat on Cam, bro.
Yeah. Put it on Cam. And shout out to Demetric or Dimitri, excuse me, on that one, for that being your first super chat, man. We do appreciate you from the heart. But yeah, man, that's a Cam thing, man. So yeah, direct your negative energy towards Cam. It is not Kenny's fault that Kenny chose to be called Big Ken. Cam threw that energy out there, and then Kenny just felt most appropriate with that name.
Daniel Coleman says Johnny Sins is a P-star, aka Tanner Morgan.
All right.
I didn't.
I just said.
I didn't know you were gonna.
Hey man.
I was trolling you a little bit.
All right, it's all good.
I didn't know if anyone was gonna bring it up.
I had already peeped game when it came up. I looked at the regular chat. And they started being like, Moats, no, you don't want to check that tape. You don't want to check that tape. So I already figured, I was like, okay, it's definitely something then. We're going to leave that alone. But as y'all can see, man, I ain't hip to the you know what I'm saying, to the P-stars and all that stuff, man. Yeah. So, all love.
12th Wonder, I'm back. Been busy with military business. But
let's go. And we appreciate your service,
glad to come back
too.
to a draft of this potential caliber.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to y'all and excited to tune in live. Once again, shout out to Big Ken's sophomore season.
Shout out, man.
Damn it.
It rolled off the tongue the way you said it, too.
I mean,
it seemed
starting
appropriate.
to pick up a little bit too much.
It seemed appropriate, bro. You should just lean into it. You get to combine both of your favorites.
I just feel like it's disrespectful.
But it could be foreshadowing. If he can just reach closely to what Seven was able to accomplish here.
I mean, you win a Super Bowl. I mean, everything's on the table.
You say everything is on the table. All it takes is one. Big gave you at least two. He said, "What? You get a nickname?"
We've had a little bit of a drought, so one will mean a lot.
It absolutely would mean a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. All right.
Sean McCartney, Derrick Henry didn't win a Super Bowl. King Henry? ? Now, that is a natural play on a famous king from England way back in the day, literally named King Henry.
King Henry, yeah.
And Derrick Henry just so happened to be like the rushing leader.
The king of
was
running that
literally
rock.
going off at the end of those seasons and going into those playoff rounds, and no one could stop him. So I think it's different.
Where you weren't expecting
it's
that.
It's different.
Either.
Like there wasn't a famous King Ken.
And when you look at Derrick Henry, his stature, like he's physically imposing. You know what I mean? Like the quarterback position, like Kenny is not like built like Big Ben, you know? So I think that kind of changes it up. But that's big reason why for Derrick Henry or King Henry, why he is referred to that way, man. Because
Mike Hood, Moats, you know Cam's energy. He always poking these dudes. Now he even got Deke fired up.
That is actually Cam. Cam is the biggest like antagonist. I want to just poke you. It's like, yo, if you're gonna get annoyed by me tapping you, Cam is the big kid that's gonna tap you. You're like, Cam, you're too big and you're too grown to be acting like this. He'd be, oh, this annoying you? You sure? Like, that's Cam, bro. So yeah, you're right, man. You're right. Cam is definitely probably gonna be trolling all of us with the Big Ken stuff, but shout out to Cam. It's all good, man.
Brad Strouderman has a scouting report on Johnny Sins. He says
God.
He's goated. Dude F's up the wide receivers.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. Shout out to whoever's watching that tape, man. I'm going to watch tape on the other people. I'm actually going to skip the tape on him, man. I don't need to watch that tape. I'm good. I don't want to see none of that. I'm all right. I'm good. Just leave it at that. I'm good.
Young Edge, thoughts on Marty Mapu and Riley Moss? Hashtag WhiteBoyCB. Hashtag NFL Draft. Hangover. LOL. Yeah, Marty Mapu actually went. Didn't he go in the third round?
Third round, yeah.
Yeah.
No, we like Marty Mapu a lot, man.
I think he went before some of those other guys.
He absolutely did.
Like a Henley and a Simpson, right?
Mm-hmm. Because he's rangy. He's athletic.
He went to the Patriots.
Yeah, rangy, athletic. He played safety at college, but he is a linebacker. He is a guy that's going to be in the box. I think they're going to put a little bit of weight on him. I think he weighed in at like 212, 216. But as a whole, man, Marty is a really good player. The big question mark is going to be, will his game translate? He's coming from Sacramento State, FCS level. So there is going to be a little bit of an adjustment period. I think of a guy last year by the name of Troy Anderson. He was another guy coming from a 1AA, extremely athletic. But we saw, obviously, with him in Atlanta, played well, got a lot of opportunities, but he still is going to have to. Boy, what? Oh, shout out to Siri. But I was like, huh? Who talking, man? But, you think of Trey Anderson a year ago coming out of Montana. It was a similar concept. Very athletic, but taking that next step up in competition, and he has to continue to get more consistent. So with Marty, that's going to be, one of the things monitoring him. Riley Moss, though, man, shout out to he said the white boy caught it. No, I like Riley, though, man. Riley's a smart player, man. Plays with good vision, good depth, and good technique. I think he's very physical. Obviously, we know he's not going to wow you in terms of running a 4-2 because he didn't run that. But in terms of him being fast enough to play this game and athletic enough, yes, because of the technique that he plays with and his overall smarts, man. That was one of the things that showed up a lot when you watched him at Iowa. And it also helped that they had Lucas Van Ness up there, man, getting that ball out fast, and Jack Campbell at that third level as well, man. They had a nice little defense going on Iowa.
Landon Bowling. Moose said Canadian Bacon's offense has hot routes.
Canadian Bacon, Lord.
Oh, did he do the switch up?
There you go. Did
he do an interview recently and said, actually, we did have hot routes? I just misspoke.
I don't know. I do not know, man. I do not know. Hey,
maybe we just implemented them this offseason.
Man, it could be. It's ever growing and evolving. Or it could have been at the end of the season. It was growing and evolving. So, yeah.
Chris Ferment Moats, if you were Miles Jack, would you want to return after being cut?
It all depends on the situation. I don't know what other teams Miles has already talked to or what other offers he has out there. But I think it's a couple of things. There wasn't bad blood from my understanding when they decided to move on from Miles. It was more so just the money that was involved with his contract. And there's nothing wrong with a player not wanting to take less. But the question is for Miles when he comes back, does he feel like he's going to end up being in the exact same role, but just for a lot less money? Because if that is the case, well, then he's going to have to decide, is it worth it to him to put his body out there and, ultimately take the chance that we got to take when you're going out there for that dollar amount? Miles is also in a position where he's made a ton of money and he's played a long time. He's dealt with injuries. So we got to even see, what he even feels like he wants to do at this point. Not saying that he's about to retire, but when you start getting towards this stage of the career and you keep dealing with injuries here and there, those are things that you contemplate. So for Miles, it could make sense for him to come back. And if he's open to it, I'm open to it without a doubt. But at the same time, I could easily understand if he wanted to just go a different direction. We've talked about some of these other LBs who've come here on 1 year and it's like, yeah, this dude definitely don't seem like he want to come back. I didn't feel like that was the situation with Miles Jack. So at least the door is open, I feel like.
Sean McCartney, Big Ben, Big Deke, now Big Ken, the big saga.
We do got Big Deke. Big Deke energy. Ooh.
Here's what I will say.
Oh.
Here's what I will say.
Man. Do you got to drop the big from your name?
No, it's different.
It's different.
Big Ken, Big Ben, it rhymes. It's clearly like a play on each other there. Big Deke, that's playing something else.
No, it ain't. No. It flows.
It does. It works.
Big Ben, Big Deke, Big Ken.
No, we're keeping Big Deke.
Yeah.
No, we're keeping that.
This is three of a kind. Big. Yeah.
I don't know how I want to phrase this because I've been thinking about this the last 5 or 10 minutes. I could see it being cool down the line if it's a homage to Big Ben in a way.
Okay.
I could see it being cool.
Okay.
But again, you just don't do that right away like this.
I feel like
I told you, Super Bowl, things start to get on the table.
It just seems like you're threatened a little bit that we're going to forget about 7 by pushing the big kid. I don't think that's going to happen, Deke. But I feel like that's like...
No. I view this like the jersey number thing. That's an iconic nickname, Big Ben.
I got you. Okay, I was like, man, I don't think...
No, I just view it as...
It's always give the dude his Big respect. Ben. It's always going to be Big Ben.
I could see it being cool as an homage thing, right? Mm-hmm. But again, I think... You got to build up to that. I think you do. You got to have success. You got to win a Super Bowl, and then maybe you start playing with a little bit.
Okay.
And again, it's only as an homage type of thing.
Oh, good. Oh, okay. I'm just learning the rules on this thing. Like I said, I wasn't hip to the whole nickname.
Still knee-jerk reaction. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. We're not going in that direction at all. Unless, again, tongue-in-cheek, little joke here and there. Ha-ha, funny. But no, that's actually not.
All it's going to take is him lighting up Baltimore. And then we all be in here. I told you that was Big Kid. Look at Big Kid. You be in there with the claws on you. Big Kid. That's Big Kid. Baltimore who? Yep, like I said, man.
Big Noriega says his name is Big Kenny to me. LOL.
Could Big Kenny work for you? Is that a little bit better? Because it's more formal.
That's just stupid.
But it's formal. It's like, I respect you, Kenny.
No, that's stupid.
Yeah.
AT, if he wins the Super Bowl, can Big Ken have his rightful number 7? No.
Ooh.
No.
Yeah, you can't have that.
No.
Definitely can't have that.
That is it for the Super Chat.
Wow.
No, one more.
Oh, all right.
Sean McCartney says, okay, Big Ben, Big Deke, Big Kenny. No, Big Kenny's just a stupid nickname. That's just stupid.
You don't like Big Kenny, man? It kind of like changed it up a little bit for you.
No, it's stupid.
So it's not like a direct copy. It's like I can see where the inspiration came from, but it's loosely based. It's like based on a true story. You know? Yeah.
I got to read this one, but I don't like it. He says Big Ken Cushions.
Yo,
bro. Come on, bruh.
Why you gotta put that out there, man? Don't put that energy out there.
I shouldn't have even read it. I'll be honest. It was funny though. I think I had to read it.
I feel guilty,
but
for
I don't
laughing,
want that energy
bro.
out there.
Yeah.
I do not want that energy out there. At all.
I'm with you, man, and I'm not gonna laugh. I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at you. I'm not laughing at the comment. Yeah, but daggone, bro, why you had to read that one?
Richard Arbizo saying I like K Pizzle.
For shizzle, ain't nothing wrong with that. I feel like it's about 15 years a little late, but that still could play. That's still, you know. Yeah. KPA's the one, though. I feel like that's a smooth one.
Yeah, it feels like it makes the most sense.
Jesus. I like it, man. I like it. But
so what do we want to talk about?
So with that being the case, man, I do want to go through and just talk about each of the prospects that we did bring in, man, and just give a little bit more in-depth analysis on them. Because like we talked about, man, a lot of people know about a Broderick Jones, a lot of people know about a JPJ, but there are going to be some players that obviously were taken in this draft that maybe we aren't, or you guys aren't as familiar with. So we just want to make sure we take some time to talk about them. And we should have time. I want to talk about the signing that we just picked up as well, the free agent from the Minnesota Vikings. But let me see what I say. Oh, I ain't tripping. Okay. But so yeah, everybody knows pretty much about Broderick Jones. Just dropped the film session on him, man. So definitely tap in with that. But with Broderick, man, we said athletic, powerful, people mover, pass block. We loved his upside compared to some of the other tackles, and just feel really confident about that pick, about that player right there. In terms of the big three guys, he was one of those guys for us that we thought was going to be a definitive upgrade over Dan Moore as well, man. So like I said, I definitely liked him in terms of just, like I said, initially talking about him. Did you want anything you want to share with him?
I think it's a great pick.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, I actually need to apologize a little bit for my reaction. I just think I was a walking, freezing cold take that day.
I do remember your reaction. It was delayed. It was kind of like, you know.
It didn't hold up.
It was a little delayed.
We'll say this. The caveat was, okay, we got Pickett's protection.
Yeah.
You got a guy to protect your future franchise quarterback, right?
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with that. And as I was thinking it through, if you're trading up for an offensive lineman like that, you must really believe in him.
Yeah. The confidence.
With those corners being on the board, too, knowing how
Yeah.
much we needed a corner in these top 2 rounds at some point. And then seeing some of the stuff afterwards, Broderick Jones' mentality, some of his interviews, some of his backstory, too. They were saying, like, this dude's, like, a really loyal guy. Like, he committed to Georgia. Teams were trying to sway him. He wouldn't go anywhere else.
Switch.
Also, something about, like, him switching high schools. Like, he was getting offers to go to a bunch of different high schools, I think, his last couple of years, but stayed at his high school.
Yeah.
So I feel like him being here, knowing that also, he even said, knowing that they traded up for me, like, that even gives me a little bit more motivation.
No, 100%.
That they believe in me. I like the pick, man. It's a good pick. And even more so with how the draft played out, the draft board played out, and us being able to get JPJ at 32.
Because part of, and you did say this when you were reacting in the moment, part of it was more so, we thought we were going to go with a little bit more of the sexier pick or one of the corners because they were both on the board at that time and we had moved up. But I will say, man, seeing you Friday night, bro, you had definitely flipped the script, man. You was all in on the pick, so
yeah,
ain't nothing wrong with that, baby. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's O-line for you, though. All right.
And you see, he might be competing with Pickens for the better shice. Did you see that one?
I did.
That's hilarious.
I definitely did.
I screenshot. I have it on
was
my
fire.
Twitter.
He had the like fur on it and everything. It was fire. Yeah. So no, I definitely like him, man. But then going to the second round, man, we talked JPJ at 32 overall. Love his range. Love his physicality. Love his technique. Have a film session on him that'll be dropping some point tonight, man, early in the morning probably. But when you watch this dude, man, he reroutes guys off the line of scrimmage consistently. He is very, very sticky in coverage. I think he does a good job down the grass, keeping his body in phase with the receivers. And even though, like we said, the knock is he doesn't have a ton of interceptions, one in his career. You watch him get in phase. You watch him make plays on the football. He does that consistently. The interceptions will come. I think that's one of the things that when you're talking about improving as a player, if that's what we're talking about improving upon, I think we're in a great situation because he has all the other prerequisites checked off. When you watch him get his head around, that is one of the big telltale signs about if a DB is going to be able to survive at this level, because you're not just going to be the best athlete out there. These NFL wide receivers, they crazy. They elite talent. So when you're in phase with these guys and you're running on the yard, how confident are you getting your head around, seeing the football and not grabbing? And that's one of the things that I thought JPJ did a good job consistently of. And the physicality is there. My man will tackle you. He will hit you right in the face, man. I love to see that as well. And like I said, that's just what the tape reflects. That's the beauty of the tape. It's less about opinions and more about just the factors. And like I said, with JPJ, man, I think that we're going to really enjoy his play out there on the perimeter.
Do you know what Steelers corners were coaching him up at the time when he was around the facilities?
No, but I just think about the guys that were in the building. You got to think about the guys who were in the building when we were here, man.
I was going to say, hopefully it wasn't Ike, because we're trying to bump up his interceptions. I don't know if Ike's going to be able to teach him that.
But the beauty with Ike was what? He was always in position, always get his hands on the football.
Ike was an underrated corner.
Well, because I think about it like this, right? I think of corners that I know have elite hands. But if I name them, I guarantee you and everybody in this chat can be like, absolutely not. I don't want him. And then I think of Ike T, who we know had hands like feet. But
yeah, I'd rather have the good coverage first.
Yeah.
I would.
I'm like, I could name a guy to you right now. I'm like, he got some of the best hands I've ever seen. I don't know if y'all would necessarily love him out there corner over, you know what I mean? That's all. But I do feel you, though, bro. I definitely feel you, though, man. But, yeah, he got to improve with that, man. But I think he will. And like I said, it's not just – I don't talk about him when I'm doing the evaluations as like a player or like a bias. It's just more so what the tape is showing, and that is definitely the case with him, man. I do feel like I say, he's going to come in here and give us a lot of productivity, though, man, at that cornerback position. So I definitely like that a lot.
It's a great pick. As I said, no-brainer.
Yeah.
Just do it. Don't try to outsmart yourself, outthink yourself, do the trade back. I know we were fielding calls, but I'm happy we just stuck with our guns and took the guy that was most obvious.
Literally, you can press man this dude or off-ball zone this dude. His vision is great. Like I said, I just think across the board, we're going to definitely enjoy him as a player for us, man.
We were talking about getting him at 17. We got him at 32. Great.
Absolutely.
Seriously great.
Man. Then from there, man, the second round pick. Shout out to this guy, Keanu Benton out of Wisconsin, the second particular player that's, was a teammate in this draft, because that was our theme as well, doubling up on Georgia and doubling up on Wisconsin.
Right.
But Keanu, man, checks off multiple boxes. Can play nose tackle, can play the 1 technique, can play the 3 technique. You can even bump him out potentially in some of the base stuff and have him play the 5 that Cam plays. When you talk about big athleticism, got a film session coming on him as well. You can just see how they utilize him up and down that line of scrimmage at Wisconsin. When he's playing nose guard or when he's playing nose tackle, he gets hands on centers and he controls them. It looks like a grown man on a little kid. And the way he's able to extend these guys and ultimately use their bodies to close off gaps. And then from there, come off of that to make plays or just be disruptive in the running game. Really, really impressive. And when you talk about a big guy that has both, what I mean is, big dudes either going to be able to have elite strength where they're ragdolling guys, or they're more so the super athletic guy that's not going to be crazy strong, but they're able to change direction really good on the interior. With Keanu, he gives you a little bit of both. He's built like a true nose tackle, but has the athleticism to play 3 technique, to go out there and play the 5 technique in our base defense. And that's one of those things when you listen to Coach Tomlin talk, he talks about trying to get one guy to be 3 or 4 players at a time. Instead of it being 46 guys on game day that dress, how can I get that closer to 50? How do I get it closer to 53? And it's guys like Keanu who can play not just one position, but multiple positions. He's one of those guys, and I just think that that's going to be another benefit, and the fact that he gets to learn from Cam Hayward. He's going to get a chance to learn from Larry Ogunjobi. I think his technique is already really, really good, and that's part of the reason why he makes as many plays as he does. But I do feel like with him, man, the more he's around those caliber guys, is just going to help elevate his game, man. So, like I said, for me, I definitely like the Keanu pick a lot as well.
Know Your Boy has a good question here, and this is what I was going to touch on. He says, is Benton even going to touch the field this year? There's like 6 other D tackles.
No, without a doubt he will.
I'm thinking Keanu Benton is going to get a legitimate chance to start at nose tackle
for a fact. That's
he'll
where
be
he'll
in competition with Fehoko. You know, else I forgot we signed that Armin Watts dude.
Yeah, Armin Watts, Fehoko, and
Montrevious, Jonathan Marshall. Like he's going to legitimately compete to be the number 1 nose tackle with those guys.
And to me personally, I think he has the best opportunity of them as well, because he has both the size and the athleticism that when we're talking about all 3 of the other guys we named, it's either typically one or the other. Montrevious is more of the quicks. Fehoko is more of the size. You know what I'm saying? But when you're talking about Benton, he gives you literally both of those things. And that's why we drafted him where we drafted him at, why we talked about him being one of our top 5 in terms of just interior D linemen or specific nose tackle people, because of that type of flexibility that he has with it.
And you combine that with, right off the bat, he's depth for Cam Hayward or Larry Ogunjobi if they need to spell. He's going to
be playing, man.
Like, he'll compete with some of those depth guys with, like, a DeMarvin Leal and, like, a Loudermilk for that 3-tech role or whenever we're in nickel and whatnot. Yeah. I could see him playing 40 to 50% of the time
he's gonna
pretty early on this season.
Yes, and the more he evolves, the more consistent he gets with his technique, the more consistent he gets with his conditioning at the NFL level. Because for college, he was already good. He was already where you wanted to be. But the pro is going to be another step up for him. The faster he picks that up, the more playing time he'll get. Very similar to when we talked DeMarvin Leal. Think about DeMarvin early on in the season. He was out there, but it wasn't a ton of snaps. We know he ended up getting hurt, but when he came back and he really got back up to speed, he was out there a lot more because they could trust him because he was playing at a higher level also. And I feel like for Keanu, that's one of the things that we're going to see with him as well. But because he's going to have a Cam Hayward and a Larry Ogunjobi already there, it takes pressure off of him. He doesn't have to feel like he has to go out there and be the guy day one. You're just being a part of an awesome unit with 2 outside guys that can get after it, 2 interior D linemen that can get after it. You're just that missing piece, so to speak, on the inside, play a role early on.
Yeah, and one of the other reasons, too, I feel like he's going to have the upper hand over some of these other guys on the D line is this is a second-round investment. Yeah. The guys that we've been signing this offseason, we're giving them, like, vet minimum deals and stuff. It's nice to, like, okay, we brought in a guy, he could do this, he can maybe back up Cam, Ogunjobi, this and that. We're talking about all the same things with Keanu Benton, but this dude's a second-round pick. Yeah. And he brings all those things to the table that you were talking about if you just watch him play. Yeah. He's huge, but also he's got some skills.
Yeah. I like to see him, man, when I see him in the backfield. This one of the plays actually broke down, too, on the film session. You see him, first off, man, be able to just get rid of the offensive lineman that's trying to block him. Wins his gap with the guy's body. Beautiful hand placement, but then once he gets off and he's in the backfield, the running back gives him a little stutter move. You see him literally bite on the first move, but have the athletic ability to still burst off and make a TFL in the backfield. Most of them big dudes that are built like him, they can't readjust. They can't redirect in a short area that quick. But you see that with him. I feel like in between guards, in terms of B gap to B gap, his short area quickness for his size, you're not going to find a ton of guys that are going to be doing that better than him. And that's the beautiful part when you're talking about him as a whole player.
Next.
Yeah, so then after that, man, we tap into that 3rd round, Darnell Washington. And this dude, I mean, I just love his
You wanted
take.
him in the 2nd.
Yeah, you knew I was a big fan of him for any team that was going
to take. We got him at the end of the 3rd, too. It wasn't even like with our 80th pick. We traded back 13 spots and still got him at 93. And it was our 4th rounder back up.
It was also impressive, too, when we found out why that happened, right? You brought it up earlier. They were talking about the knee and stuff like that, but he clarified that and kind of put all that to rest. But the beauty with Darnell Washington, when you watch him block, it is not going to look like Pat Freiermuth. It's not going to look like Zach Gentry. It's not going to look like Connor Hayward. It's not going to look like Derek Watt. It's going to look like an offensive lineman is out there. That is what Darnell Washington brings to the table. Not only is he able to move people, but he's very athletic in the blocking element of his game. And he takes pride in it. You watch him, man. He consistently puts defenders on their back, whether you're talking linebackers, whether you're talking DBs. He's not afraid to hit a DN, a 4-3 DN. He'll put hands on him as well. Darnell, I think that's the one part for me that made me really fall in love with his tape, when you can see how he could block people at that size. But then the caveat or the added bonus is when you watch him go out there and run a route. He's very comfortable in his skin as an athlete, but more importantly, he trusts his hands. He is a hands catcher of the football, which is very impressive because he takes shots, man. He's a big guy, but these DBs, they'll hit him. They bounce off of him, but the reason he's able to maintain possession through that contact and through the ground is because he's strong and confident with his hands. And that's one of the really impressive things when you're putting the tape on with him, because usually you don't get that type of correlation either. Your big blocking tight ends usually aren't your best receiving threats or have the most consistent hands. But for Darnell, that's one of the things that does show up with him. So you're literally getting the best of both worlds. And you obviously heard us talk about it earlier in terms of the personnel groups we could use with him, multiple tight end sets, and still not be a one-dimensional running team because we got 2 tight ends or 3 tight ends out there. We are legitimately going to be able to throw that ball. So to me, man, I love this pick. Y'all know I was hyped about this one.
Right. We got him at 93. We got him like a round and a half later than where he probably should have went. So best case, or not best case scenario, I think right off the bat, you got a dude that's probably one of the best blocking tight ends in the league. He was obviously the best blocking tight end in this draft class, but that goes hand in hand with this identity we've been trying to build dating back to the end of last season and how we've been working this offseason and bringing in these certain players with the blue-collar mindset and trying to play bully ball and stuff. So, like, right there, like, he fits that.
Yeah.
But then you add his athleticism, his crazy build, and like you said, like, this dude can, like, catch the ball. He's going to be a big target for Pickett out there. It's not going to be someone that just goes out there and he's a decoy. The only thing he could probably work on as time goes on is some of his route running.
Yeah.
But you get him the ball at space, some of these dudes are just falling off him. He's got some speed to him.
They're throwing it to him in the flat, and because he's such a tough tackle, a 3-yard route turns into a 20-yard pickup because he makes that first guy miss, and not in the elusive way, but think of it in a Big Ben way. Think about how Big Ben would extend plays. Stiff arm, just tough to pull down, make guys fall off of him. When you
and
watch
with all
Darnell,
that, if you get him, he's got all that momentum too.
And that's
Wait, he ran like a 4.6, right?
Yeah,
40?
yeah, 4.6, man. So you can see I look at him like a 18-wheeler or a locomotive. Like, he's not gonna just get out and be like explosive off the line, but once he gets moving, that is a man coming down that line like that, man. And yeah, you see some of them DBs making business decisions. You see them start deciding, all right, do I really want to hit this, or I want to just dive at the legs and let him jump over me? That's the type of stuff that pops up when you're talking about Darnell, man. So yeah, I like him a lot though, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun watching him, bro.
The fake knee problem. This is from John Doe. He says the fake knee problem was the con artist. Did Omar put that out there? Put a little fake news out there.
I heard that scope was a little more severe than what he said, man. I just want to throw that out there, guys. Just in case y'all ain't know.
Yeah. Darnell's 21 years old.
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
He's a baby, bro. He's a baby.
He looks like a full-grown man.
All of them are young, though. All of them dudes are young, bro.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I like him a lot, though, man. We're going to definitely have fun
That's crazy
with him.
because he's got all that stuff that immediately he could be an asset for us in the blocking game. It's Tomlin brought up. 6th offensive lineman, but he could also be a big target for Pickett. But I also think he could develop and be a good, even better target for Pickett, a better receiver.
I would agree.
Down the line. Great pick.
Definitely agree, man. All right. Now, in the 4th round, we're getting a little bit of those family ties here, man. Nick Herbig. And, you know, for me, man, I'm a big fan of his game as well. People have called him Mini TJ because when you cut the tape on, he looks very similar to TJ in terms of how he rushes, in terms of the moves he utilizes. We obviously have talked about the reports of him and TJ working out together, training together, both Wisconsin guys, and he's the little brother of Nate Herbig. So not only do you get a third rusher who's going to be productive, who's going to help us out in, you know, multiple ways at that position, but you also get that infinity stone that we've also talked about, and that does matter, while keeping a new offensive lineman happy as well, man, because we obviously know that was one of the things that Nate Herbig was calling for when he first signed here. He's like, yo, get my brother. He's a beast.
Tomlin with this infinity gauntlet might even be better at challenges this year.
Saying,
like there's going to be some certain things to his game that we're never going to see before.
Watch him when he going to do it. It's going to be a challenge. Like, Oh, he got it right. Like, how did that work? That was the gauntlet. Like, that's literally where we're gonna be at right now, man. But shout out to Nick Herbig, man. I feel like he has the potential to play inside and outside for us. He's a natural outside linebacker, though. I do want to clarify that. He is an outside linebacker first. He has the potential to play inside. I do feel like he is smart enough to play in there. I've seen, like I said, some of the stuff they used with him at Wisconsin. I think the only thing that will be a challenge for him is when he gets into our defense and we do more of the match concepts, which essentially is man-to-man. But you got to know how to communicate, passing the receivers off and stuff like that. But I do feel like he's athletically capable of doing that. It'll just more so be once he gets into camp, how fast he picks that type of stuff up. But I definitely like this pick a lot as well, man.
I couldn't believe it. I was so pumped.
Yeah, this is dope.
That was the last of our real needs.
It was.
We hit on cornerback. We hit on left tackle. We hit on defensive tackle with Keanu Benton. And then also getting a Darnell Washington. Again, the one complaint you could have is the athletic linebacker. Like Drew Sanders, Trent Simpson, Dayan Henley, any one of those guys. Yeah. We didn't get. But a Nick Herbig, as you brought up, might be able to fill that role here or there in like a helter-skelter way. Not full-time or anything, but just for a play or two. And then you also have a Keanu Neal who could play dimebacker. Yeah. So not the end of the world there, but we did need that third edge rusher, and Nick Herbig could definitely do that for us. Yeah,
without a doubt. I think that's the day one easy transition for Nick. He's the third rusher. Anytime TJ or Alex needs a blow, that's the guy that goes in, and we're going to feel the productivity. We're going to feel the energy and the effort that he plays with. He checks off a ton of boxes. He plays the game like a Steeler, and that's the beautiful part when you're watching him, man. That's why we were excited about him before we even knew about the connection to, his brother and him and TJ Watt. He just plays the game the right way, man. And like I said, that was one of the things that drew me to him as well. So I'm excited about it, though, man. Definitely. All right, so now the time to talk about our first 7th round pick. And while we edit, hit that like button, man. We are extra chunky in here today, man. Salute each and every one of y'all that are on the stream with us. But go ahead, hit that like button.
People are bringing up Mount
man.
Washington as a nickname for Darnell.
I'm not against that. Because he is a mountain of a man. I like to play on Mount Washington because of Pittsburgh thing. And his last name is Washington. So it does kind of all flow perfectly.
Right.
I'm down for Mount Washington.
Agent Zero.
That's hard, too, but I think of Gilly. I think of Gilbert Arenas. That's my only issue.
We steal it from him? Different sports? Can we get away with it?
I don't know. Gilly brought guns to the spot. You feel me? Like, that's iconic. When you're talking about a guy transcending a league, you bring guns to the locker room, everybody know that's a big no-no now because of Gilbert Arenas. It's pictures in our locker room where you can't bring guns in there. It's like, it's a big deal. That was never around. It's a Gilbert thing. Yeah, everybody know that, man. Shout out to Gilbert Arenas, though.
All right, we got Corey Trice Jr. then.
Absolutely, man. So with Corey Trice, man, out of Purdue, big body, long corner. Very reminiscent of a JPJ in terms of his frame. I think he's a little bit thicker in terms of the weight that he carries. But pressed up, I love his hand placement. I love how he reroutes guys. In terms of him playing off ball, I think he's a natural zone guy. In terms of just playing with big vision and breaking on routes, really good ball skills as well. He's one of those guys that he's going to turn over the football. He's going to get picks. He's going to punch at the ball. He's going to rake at it. He does a good job there. And he is physical. That's the other thing you get when you talk about Corey. Corey is going to hit you. Corey is not going to allow you to just free release off the line of scrimmage. And if you throw that ball out there on the perimeter, he's going to tackle you. That is him. But I also like the fact that he's still going to provide us with some special teams athleticism as well. Another big body guy that can run. So when you're talking about that 7th round and why do you take a Corey versus some of the other potential people that are out there, that comes into play as well because he does have good size and speed. And I could just see that translate into the special teams element early on for him to at least give him an opportunity to grow to be on that defense a little bit more.
You see who was on the board at the time for this one?
I did not actually.
We had our choice of a couple corners.
Who were available to us?
Eli Ricks.
Shout out to Eli Ricks.
Eli Ricks, Corey Trice, and then also Rajon's right.
Ooh.
We went with Trice. Like
I would have liked Eli.
We had our chance at Eli Ricks.
Eli Ricks, I would have liked that.
I mean, it is what it is. I'll trust Omar Khan in the Steelers front office.
Yeah. The thing with Corey, though, man, like, he is a big physical corner. Like, when you're talking about a JPJ, big physical corner, you talk Pat P, that's a physical corner. Levi Wallace, big, physical. Kello. We definitely have a type right now. We want big, long, physical dudes on the outside. We have a type when you're talking about our interior offense and defense line. We want people movers. And I think that we did an excellent job in just being more intentional with those type of players.
Because we still have enough finesse.
We do.
We
That's
still
the
have a
crazy
Pickens.
part.
We still have a Deontay.
Right.
We still have like a Minka on defense.
Think about it, man.
Yeah.
But we have definitely
A Pat
built
P.
more
Like
of this,
no one's
bully.
calling Pat P like a big bully. He's amazing in coverage. He knows what he's doing.
Amazing athlete too. Yeah,
Right.
But it's like we got that nice dynamic right now, man. It's a good space we're in. And then the last pick for us, this was 200.
Well, dude, real quick. The other thing I really like about this pick though, is it just feels like we're taking our secondary serious this offseason. Now, like think of our room: Levi Wallace, Pat P, JPJ, Corey Trice, and we still have a Kello.
Yep.
We brought in this dude, Chandon Sullivan, for the slot to compete with Arthur Millette and Trey Norwood. Like, I feel like our secondary is going to be a strength. It's something we're really focused on, not only this year, but because we got a JPJ and a Corey Trice in the draft. They're coming in as rookies, hopefully long term as well.
Yeah.
Like, we're trying to build something up. And I like the value in where we got him.
I'm with you, baby. I'm with you.
Like, he should have been a 4th or 5th round pick. I would have been curious because Ringo, I think he got picked in the 4th. I would have been curious if like Ringo fell all the way to 7th and we had our choice between Ringo or Trice, who we would have went with.
Ringo is very talented, but Ringo, in terms of the corner position, he's just his hips, man. That was the thing we talked about. It's like he's a straight line guy, but when you're talking about covering some of the different routes where you're looking at digs, stop routes, ins and outs, he is going to struggle, and that was shown on his tape. But the thing was, he played behind a great Georgia front, so it wasn't a ton of routes like that were going to actually be able to work because of the timing of it. At the NFL level, you don't always have that luxury, and I do feel like that was one of the bigger reasons why he fell. I feel like in a zone scheme, though, where he can play cover 3, big vision, and not have to deal with a ton of the breaking down stuff that you get in man, I think he's going to excel. But that's, to me, one of the reasons why Keeley fell versus some of these other guys. It's just on his tape, that's one of the concerns with it is he athletic enough to do that side-to-side stuff? Because we know he has the big speed, but it's more than just being fast when you're talking about actually like covering guys.
Donald Copeland bringing this up. Can't wait to see JPJ versus Pickens at camp. We're going to have some good camp battles.
Absolutely, man.
Across the board.
Absolutely. And trust me, man, JPJ ready for whatever. It was dope, man, going back and watching his tape, man. I got a chance to watch him when he was matching up against Garrett Wilson. Obviously, we know Garrett Wilson, Rookie of the Year and stuff like that in the league this year. But, man, you go back and you look at the tape, and it's just like, man, this dude matched up well versus him, man. The way he's able to reroute this dude, run with this dude, break down with this dude in coverage. And it's like, that's the type of stuff that we're going to be potentially seeing on a day-to-day basis with the George Pickens and him. Then when you talk about him competing against the Deontay Johnson, him competing against the Allen Robinson, those are 3 very unique skill sets, but it's ultimately going to keep him and our other DBs prepared for whatever they're going to see potentially on Sundays, man.
Last one.
And the last pick for us, man, at 251, Spencer Anderson. Now, with Spencer, I like the fact that for him, positional flexibility. This dude literally played every position on that Maryland offensive line. Man, I'm watching the game. He literally is starting at right guard, and then midway through bumps out and starts playing right tackle. I'm like, bro, what? Like, that's crazy. But then when you're talking about him not just going from the right side, but then being able to switch his footwork, play on the left side, I just think with this move right here, you get a guy that can play all 5 positions. Very similar to the Keanu Benton, where we're saying, how do I take 46 and make it 53, make it 55, make it 57 players? Guys like Spencer, how you do that. In terms of what he does well, I enjoy watching him in the run game. I think in terms of guard, that's his best position. But run game is where you see him be his best self. He is capable of pass blocking. The thing that he gets in trouble with is he drops his head. And when you drop your head, that's when he's able to get beat and guys are able to ultimately have some success in terms of pass rush. But with offensive linemen, that is common. And that's part of the things that we're going to see if Pat Myers can coach that out of him so he can be more consistent. But in terms of, the positional flexibility, the size, and the physicality that he plays with, it doesn't hurt anything. And we know we have a ton of guards. But the fact is, he plays right, he plays left, and he plays center. Just once again adds to that room, adds to the competition in there and the depth more so than anything else. So, like I said, man, for me, man, I was cool with the Spencer Anderson pick at the end.
Yeah, it is what it is. I wouldn't have minded, like, just the, you know what, F it, why not go 3 corners? Let's just take an Eli Ricks because of the upside or whatnot. Or even like an Ivan Pace Jr.
Yep, because he was up the board too. Yeah.
I don't think we need him because I think we have his mold and Mark Robinson already on the roster.
I would agree.
We've seen what Ivan Pace can do.
He can get after it.
He's crazy. He would have been perfect with the Steelers locker room, I feel like. But, yeah, I don't think there's a big knock against this one. We needed some extra O-line depth. What did I keep doing in the mock drafts? I always took a center and like one of our last 7th-round picks just because I'm like, hey, we need a backup center. So I feel like that's probably this dude's inside track to making the roster. But he'll probably still compete with like a Kendrick Green for a backup guard spot or even just to stay on the team or maybe make a practice squad. And then LaRaven Clark as an offensive side. He'll compete with those guys. But and I don't know exactly who we picked up in these undrafted free agents, but I'm sure we had a couple other guys on the interior. So
I thought John Sins was one of them dudes you picked up. Right?
No. He'll have probably the edge a little bit because he's an actual draft pick. But we know how this type of stuff goes. You saw what happened with Jaylen Warren last year.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It doesn't matter, how you get there, whether your number was called or not. But once you get there, it's all about making the most of those opportunities. You think about me, 6th-round pick. You talk about TG, undrafted dude. Actually, a 3-day tryout dude. You know what I mean? Those are very different. And even with that, for both of us to be able to do what we did, it just shows for a guy like Spencer Anderson, a guy like Corey Trice, you can still make a great career out of this thing. But, your road is going to be a little bit longer, a little bit harder. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. That's what makes them unique. But I am excited for Spencer, though, man. I feel like early on, practice squad is going to be an easier path for him. But, yeah, there's no point in, him shying away from trying to make that active roster outright. We know just the guard position right now, we're crowded, and that's the thing. But if he can show legitimate...
Needs to work on his snaps.
Right. If he can show consistency and legitimate positional flexibility where we're not saying he has to be the best at left tackle, the best at left guard, the best at center, the best at right guard, the best at right tackle. But if he can raise his level from an NFL perspective to where he is varsity at all those spots, or at least varsity at 2 to 3 of those spots, that's ultimately how he stays on the roster, because he's not going to be able to give you special teams value per se. So for him, the consistency and the trust that the team is going to have in him playing multiple spots is going to be the key for him, man. But
and he's got that Maryland connect.
You
that doesn't hurt.
Come on, man. You got to have that Maryland connection, baby. You need a Maryland connection or an Eagles connection or play for Georgia. It's one of those 3 right now, man. If you do one of those 3, you're going to get a job. You can get a job. Believe that.
You want me to hit these supers?
Let's tap in, man. Let's tap in.
Demetric Smith. For the love of God, stop making Deke upset.
I know they keep playing with you in here, man. Y'all got to stop playing with Deke.
I still need to watch the video to get a
Deke
full
don't play
breakdown
like that.
of it. Steeler Nation on fire. Darnell Washington should wear some type of protection for his knees.
Well, technically, we got knee pads. Technically. Yeah.
Was he doing that already at Georgia?
I don't know. I feel like, it's mandatory. You got to technically have, pads in your knee pocket slot area. So he going to have some type of knee protection. Now, anything other than that, that's going to be up to him. But, man, I think he's all right. This is part of the draft, though. We heard this even with the JOK situation. Was that 2 years ago, right? The heart. And literally, we haven't heard anything else since then. Every year, a guy falls for a medical. But a lot of the times, man, we've seen that these dudes are healthy. These dudes do check out. And from personal experiences, man, teams, when they draft you, they know every little bit about you in terms of the medical. From the combine, from your big 30s visits, from them visiting your pro day, from them calling your agent and asking for all of your medical reports because they want their specific doctor to see you and not just take the word of another NFL doctor. They do all of that. And I'm telling you from firsthand, and this was with me coming out of college with just a minor surgery. They check literally everything. So for a guy like Darnell Washington, they had to feel extremely confident with that scenario for them to take him. And yeah, I'm a roll with that.
Even if they didn't, it's worth a flyer with him at 93.
Not? Absolutely. Why not?
Yeah. I really hope Omar Khan planted that story or made it more visible to all the GMs. Hey, guys, don't forget about this.
That is how it happens, though.
Obviously, he's never going to say it, but maybe once he retires, he's 70 years old or whatever, he'll answer that question. That's one I'm gonna have in my back pocket if I ever get an interview with Omar Kwan. Did you plant the Darnell Washington?
That was your idea.
Story?
That was your idea.
Man.
It seemed like that was your idea.
Scott Forador, it's Kenny Mother Effin Pickett. Ask Tom.
Ooh, talk about it. Okay.
I think he did call him that after one of those game-winning touchdowns.
When Coach T in the moment, yeah, that's his word. He gonna mother F it now. Yeah.
Nicholas Tischerman, y'all are sleeping on, said with a lips, Kenneth the Menace.
Kenneth the Menace?
That's whack. Kenneth the Menace.
You gotta use the list. Get your list. The Menace. Like Mike Tyson do it. All right.
That's whack.
But shout out to Nicholas, man. That was his first super chat. That's not whack. All right, we do like that. Kenneth the Menace.
How about this? Speaking of the knee pads or whatever, knee protection for Darnell.
Yeah.
X Concepts brings up this point. Why don't more players cheat by using arm braces as weapons like Gronk?
Gronk didn't use the arm as a weapon. I feel like Gronk was just Gronk, you know? Yeah. But I just leave it at that. I want an arm brace. Most of the time when you're in an arm brace, it is not feeling like a weapon, because if it gets hit, you be like, Lord, mama, they are taking me home. That's typically how I felt when I had my arm brace on. So yeah, that I don't know. But Gronk was just a monster by himself though, man. So salute Gronk and his arm brace.
AJ Martinez, God bless Grandma Bertha, passed today, 97 years.
Hey man, big time love for Grandma Bertha, man. And passed away, but you're right though, man. Beautiful life, man. Beautiful life. 97 years, man. That's what we talking about. Live it to the best of your ability and max out as many of them things you can get in here, man. But shout out to Grandma Bertha, though, man. Big time respect. And AJ, man, hope you are vibing out as well, man. We know anytime somebody passes, everybody reacts a little bit different to that, man. But just know we always in your thought, or you're always in our thoughts, man.
This one's terrible. I got to read this, though. Curtis Steed. Nicknames. We had Tony Toe Tap. Now we have Georgie Gumshoes. That is the stupidest.
That's what he thought of? All right. You know what? That's creativity though, right? Okay? When you have an idea, you put it out there to the board and you let the atmosphere just react to it.
I got to say no on that one.
Just take it back to the drawing board, reassess it.
Pickens wants to be called GP. We're just going to keep it at that.
Yeah, just
he didn't even like NFL Youngboy. He's definitely not going to like Georgie Gumshoes.
Just take some time with it. It's all right. Just take it back to the cutting board, remeasuring that thing, all right. And then throw it back out there when you're ready, all right? But all good. Mm-hmm.
The call man did his thing. Omar was like, if you see me in the jungle fighting a bear, help the bear. We going up this season. Big Deke news.
As long as it's a grizzly bear. Hello.
Dan Moore and Zach better step it up. Let's go Darnell Wash. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, man, it's a beautiful situation. And shout out to you, Sequoia Harris, man. I peep what you putting down. Bro, how he do. Lakers in 6. Holla at us.
Well, actually, that's the next comment. Google says Moats, Lakers or Warriors. Also, KP8, 2023 MVP.
Oh, all right. Well, unfortunately, man, I don't really want to talk about Lakers versus Warriors because
it's going to be a great series.
It actually is, bro. I'm super hyped. I'm glad that the Warriors were able to do what they did. Shout out to Steph going for the big 50-piece last night, too. But in my household, man, I'm a Lakers fan.
Are you going to watch
I'm a
different
diehard
rooms?
LeBron fan, and wifey is a diehard Bay fan. Golden State, that's where she's from. San Fran through and through. So it is very unique because we actually do support each other's teams when they're not playing against each other. Like, it's times she texts me like, I see LeBron going crazy, or Lakers got to pick it up. Or I hit her back like, hey, man, I see Looney going hand down there, sitting in the paint. Shout out to Clay. He's still bricking, but every once in a while he hits something. But now it's like the unspoken awkwardness in the household. Like, we kind of walked around. I was like, hey, babe, I'm glad y'all won the other day. And she's like, yeah, I'm excited for y'all too. And I'm like, it should be a great series. And we just keep saying that. We're just leaving it at that. But yeah, it's
I could see the tensions being high if this thing comes down to a game.
You feel me?
Are you watching in different rooms, or you think you can watch together?
We watch differently, so I don't think it's gonna work. So like when she doesn't really like to watch because she gets nervous. So she likes to just tune in, tap in every once in a while and just like follow her phone. I like to watch it, but I'm talking. You feel me? It's Bron. So like when Bron get a bucket and he go crazy in the crowd, I go crazy in the bathroom. When Bron go ham, I be like in the crib like, yo, man, I'm tired of this, man. I told y'all, man, stop effing with my thought. Like, that's how I watch Bron. It's like a full fan moment when I'm watching Bron because I am a legitimate fan of him. I think that's going to make it really, really uncomfortable. So we probably won't watch these games together because I don't think that she's going to be able to handle that. And if Steph, and I feel like this always happens when everybody plays Bron, whenever they don't play Bron, everybody be missing. Clay couldn't hit anything all series long. All the Warriors was looking crazy. Jordan Poole couldn't hit nothing. But guaranteed, when they play the Lakers and it's LeBron, oh, they are like all-stars. That's how it always is. I get it. So I just feel like that's going to create some tension in the room as well. So we're going to see, man. We're going to see. Just pray for it. It's going to be an interesting tomorrow night.
It's a good one, too, because this dates back to the Cavs Warriors.
It does. It does. But at the same time, I feel like it's still like its own entity. And that's the thing I like as well, man.
What,
like,
just LeBron versus Curry? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but in the sense
or
of
you
like,
mean this is a
like,
new
yeah, it's
little
just a
rivalry.
new little rivalry because like Curry and Golden
Although
State.
this is the first time it's happened, really.
Right.
Like in the playoffs.
Yeah, but like Curry and Golden State at this stage are a little bit older. We're trying to see what they have left in the run, even though they just came off a championship. And Bron, it's like, all right, we know what you are, but is AD going to be able to show you that he's Kyrie for real this time and have another run? So that's the question, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
man.
it's how do all these new dudes mesh when I know it was still a playoff series
Right,
that they
right.
did against the first round, but this is
But it was different though, yeah.
next level. Now you're
Yeah.
going up against the Warriors. Now it's the second round.
Yeah, I mean for them, this is gonna be their third playoff series now because you think they had to go into play-in, then go to take care of Memphis in 6, and now we get the Warriors, baby. So that's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, y'all know where my loyalties lie. Okay, I'm Team Bron, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
President Nitty, if you're going to be in the lower room, at least thumbs up. 900 plus. I think he wants people to hit the like button.
Oh, what's the situation? Oh, yeah, it is 900 plus. The likes are a little though, bro. You're right. That's interesting, man. It's interesting. Yeah, man, go ahead and run them likes up there one time, man. President Nitty said it, so we just gonna repeat what he said, baby. But that's, only if you're enjoying the content. If you're not enjoying the content, don't hit the like button. But if you're enjoying it, go ahead and tap that thing one time, all right? Let's ride.
Steeler Nation on fire. Do the Steelers keep all 4 tight ends?
Man, I was about to draw a blank. I was like, who's the 4th tight end? Do you classify
Probably.
Connor
I
Hayward
think
as
they
a tight
do.
end? I thought that Matt
I
Canada
don't.
Matt Canada spoke on him as more of a, he said he would be in the fullback role potentially after the draft.
I think you could just move him
Yeah.
around wherever. I don't think he's really full-time anything. I don't think
Yeah.
you want him as a full-time fullback. I don't think you want him as a full-time tight end. I don't think you
Yeah.
want him as a full-time slot receiver.
He's a true H. To me, he's the true H back on this team. We don't have another. I feel like Pat Frymouth is the closest thing to Connor Hayward as an H back in terms of like that tweener type body where you can put him out there in the slot, you could put him in the core, he can be the off-ball tight end move guy. Like Connor gives you all of those things. Think about we saw the play where he's in the slot, Tampa 2, he catches the big time pass from Kenny. I think that was Baltimore we were playing against at the end of the season. Then you think about Connor, jet sweep versus Tampa to end the game, right? 20-yard run, takes it, whoop, makes a guy miss, right? Then let me think, what else am I missing? It was he's done multiple things at various levels. Atlanta Falcons, first touchdown for him. You think about all the different ways that we've aligned him, all the different ways that he's been productive, and that doesn't even count for what he does on special teams too. But more importantly, that's why I think of him as a H versus when we talk Darnell, Gentry, and Muth, those are all true tight ends or what we like to call the wide position. So, yeah, I do think it's a strong possibility that all 4 of those guys are still on this roster. I think that ends the potential Derek Watt reunion, though, because Connor Hayward is definitely going to...
Tomlin already got the gauntlet.
Yeah, he's going to take on, some of the things and responsibilities that Derek Watt was bringing. But I don't want us to get rid of any of them tight ends personally. I like having all 3 of them big bodies like that for us.
No, I'm with you. I think the one you can make the best case for to cut is Gentry, but I think depth matters.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather not have. Let me put it to you this way: I'd rather have a Darnell, a Gentry, and a Muth on the roster with a Connor Hayward too. And if one of them has to go down, okay, let's say it's Muth. At least we have Darnell and Gentry for a game or two.
And if it's Darnell, at least you got.
And you got Gentry. Same thing. Whereas Hayward is the outlier from all those guys.
I would agree.
So if you cut Gentry and Darnell's out for a few games, it's like you have Muth and then you have Connor Hayward. And I don't like Connor Hayward lining up at tight end the whole time.
Predominantly, no, I'm with you. I agree. I definitely agree, man.
Sean McCartney. I know Washington is a tight end and can catch, but I see him being on the field similar to when we had an extra tackle on the field like Banner.
No, that's exactly it. Except the thing is, it makes defenses get into a bind.
They got to worry about the pass a little bit.
Yeah, because when Zach Banner came on the field, it's no different than when we would use Chris Hubbard coming on the field. It's a big red flag. It's telling everybody in the stadium it's going to be run or play action pass because you're not worried about those particular guys running out for routes. So as a defender, what do you think you would call versus those type of personnel groupings? You blitz it. We call blitz whatever the jersey number is. And wherever those players are, you just bring pressure around it because you know that guy's not going to go out in a route. So we would offset that by trying to run, and we would say Banner, we would say Chris Hubbard, or any of the other extra linemen. I think Gerald Hawkins, he was that guy for us as well for a little bit. The thing was, we would say, man, you got to make it count. If we're going to put you out there and we know the attention that's going to come with it, you have to win and win consistently. Whereas now with Darnell Washington, because of the receiving ability that he legitimately has, you can no longer just simply say, oh, we're going to blitz zero because Darnell Washington out there. Oh, man, just bring in our base package because they're not going to be, trying to throw this thing or spread it out. Nah, we're going to be worried about play action, those two-man routes. You can't do that anymore. And that's the beauty of this situation. This is very reminiscent of what New England had when you talk about the Gronk, the Hernandez, and when they had, I think it was Ben Watson was up there as that third tight end before. It was I'm about to butcher his name. It was like a hush my shum something like that as well as that third tight end. But that's some of the stuff that, when you're able to make defenses play with big personnel groupings and have big body guys trying to cover guys that are athletic and, typically you don't want big linebackers covering. That's what we're going to be able to do now. So, yeah, we're in a great situation, man. But Darnell is definitely that upgrade compared to using the extra lineman, man. It's just a beautiful scenario for us.
Big Noriega, we got 5 or 6. No, I'm sorry. I'm skipping some. Well, I'll just read his.
All right, what you got for me?
He's always in the chat. We'll give him some priority here. He says we got 5 or 6 day one potential starters. In the draft, or is he talking this whole offseason?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out.
I think dudes are going to play.
Yeah, in terms of
starter.
Like
or maybe is he talking long term? Like in 3 years, 5 or 6 of these guys could be starters.
Maybe it's got to be that.
Because right off the bat, Herbig's not going to be a starter.
Darnell's not. Is he the starter?
I think these guys are going to play.
Right,
like, what do you consider starters?
Broderick's going to be a starter. JPJ, I think he'll be a starter.
And then Benton, do you want to classify him as a starter if
he wins the nose spot? Then
right.
He's
getting in there 40-50% of the time.
Yeah,
I'd say we got 3 guys getting starters type of minutes. I would probably
agree. With a fourth guy potentially,
4th and 5th guy maybe just playing.
Right. Yeah, I feel like we got 5 guys that are going to be able to play.
Darnell and Herbig should still get time.
Yeah, 5 guys are definitely going to play a lot.
I don't think it's going to be to that 40-50% threshold though.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't see Nick coming
at least early on
and beating out Highsmith for snaps or beating out TJ for snaps. I don't see that. Yeah,
no, he's going in to give him a spell.
Right.
And maybe he does some of that rover.
Yeah, like Darnell Washington. Like I don't see him being when we want to just go one tight end, we choose Darnell over Pat. Because to me, I still feel like what Pat can bring as a receiver, it's just like that's today's NFL. You want that. But he's definitely going to play a ton. Like these dudes are going to play a ton, man. I'm
going to check through the comments, see if he can give some clarification. Steeler Nation on Fire says Nick Herbig could be just like Micah Parsons.
I mean, he has some of that potential. He was very similar to when we were breaking down Drew Sanders. And that was some of the big reasons for me why I liked both of them dudes like that. I think that Drew was a little bit closer to Micah in terms of the production and in terms of the production at both positions exclusively. Whereas, like I said, with Nick, he dropped into coverage a good amount, but they weren't necessarily aligning him off ball at inside linebacker. Whereas when you talk Drew was very similar to Micah Parsons, where you would see him lined up at inside, then lined up at outside, and him having to go through those mechanics, go through those motions. But athletically, Nick does possess some of those similar characteristics. So we'll see. But Micah Parsons also is, that's a freak right there, man. That's yeah. He different, man. So if Nick can even get close to that, we will all be loving it.
A2A Style says D. Washington is the next Eric Green. Oh. Don't know if y'all remember him in the Berg, but he was a big dude as well.
Okay. You got me on Eric? You remember Eric Green?
90s tight end. I'm seeing some people in the comments say he wasn't as good of a blocker. He was just a really good receiving threat. I think he was fast. He was athletic. So I get what he's saying.
I like it then.
Shades of Eric Green, probably just a better blocker, though.
I like it.
Way better blocker.
Shout out then. Shout out.
Yeah, and he was good. I think he made a Pro Bowl or two.
Oh, word.
I think he was a good tight end. This was before the 2000s. This was at some point in the 90s. So before Heath. He was good.
All right. Shout out to Eric Green.
Mike Tice. What's the percentage chance that Kendrick Green comes in the offseason improved and pushed for one of the starting spots? 0.
He's going to be improved. Kendrick is one of them dudes, man.
It's the last thing he said, though.
Yeah.
Push for a starting spot? No, 0.
Yeah.
No chance.
Injuries happen, though. That changes a lot. Hopefully we don't have any of that. That's why I just never say 0%, because I've been in them scenarios where it's like, oh, yeah, you got 0%. No, you don't. You be starting week 1. All it takes is an injury here, something crazy happened there, and then it's like, hey, next man up. So hopefully it doesn't come to that. I think slim in terms of him getting a chance to start. But in terms of him being improved this offseason, he's definitely going to be improved. He's a professional. That showed even last offseason. The big thing with Kendrick is just his size. It's certain things where it's like your physical traits are what's hindering you. That would have been no different if they were playing me at 3 technique. I could have all the technique I want. I could be the smartest 3 technique I want. But at the end of the day, 240 pounds, is it going to get it done as the interior D lineman? And that's some of the stuff that Kendrick Green is dealing with. His fundamentals are good. But when you talk about how small he is, that's what really hinders him. And that's going to be something that, unless he can develop some type of counter to big body, strong men bull rushing him, he's going to continue to struggle, man, at this level. And, that's something that everybody has to go through and figure it out. Like I said, for Al, I remember Big Al Villanueva. He could not stop a bull rush to save his life. He got with Tunch Ilkin and Mike Munchak, and he ultimately learned a hand trap where a guy goes to bull rush him and he's swatting their hands down. It was really weird when he first started doing it, but he had a ton of success and made a Pro Bowl behind that. Kendrick Green going to have to figure out something, similar to offset some of that power that he struggles with. But, that's the thing with Kendrick, though, man. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out for him.
Scott Foradora, LOL, Hushma Shumshums.
Oh, yeah. I ain't know I say his name, man. I mean, it was definitely something with an H and a whole bunch of letters in it. It was 13 letters in this dude's last name.
I think I know who you're talking about.
But I could not pronounce it.
Humong Yaj, where's TG at? Hashtag NFL Draft Hangover.
Hey, no, salute TG, man. He pulled up on me yesterday, man. He was in the spot. We actually recorded our Locker Mates joint, man, in the session today, man. But no, he should be back in Florida, if I remember correctly. He was supposed to be leaving. This is TG, though. We all know how TG rocks out. You never know what you're going to get with TG, all right? But he did say he appreciates y'all showing him love, man. And when he actually did come in here deep, he was like, he did agree that he should have called a little bit earlier to give a more update, because he said he don't know how we would have fit. That's what I'm trying to explain. I was like, bro, me and Deke, Deke is a regular built person. I was like, you can't have 2 big people and a regular person. Like, we're going to all be in here, knees up, like we on the bench together. So, yeah.
Probably would have had to go on the couches or something.
We definitely would have. But you're telling me that an hour beforehand and we ain't even at the crib.
Right.
That's a lot,
That's it for the Supers.
Man, I like it. Up to
this point.
I like it.
We're at 6 o'clock.
That is actually perfect, because I did want to take some time to talk about our free agent pickup. I should have even hit that up and been like, yo, man, we need a graphic. I totally forgot, though. But either way, we will tap in on Shandon Sullivan. So,
yeah. Omar Khan, man, there's not one bad thing about any of these moves. And this is another one, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You get another dude on a vet minimum type of contract who's actually good a couple years ago for the Pack. He was really good. He was a sought-after slot corner. Just had a down year with the Vikings. He's still relatively young, 26 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So just to bring him in to compete with Arthur Millette, Trey Norwood, and I would say if you were going to grade the secondary, slot corner was probably gonna be our weakness if we weren't gonna address that, right?
Yeah.
But we brought him in. Obviously, we didn't draft the guy. Like the move. Low risk, high reward. That's been basically every move we've made this offseason.
Yeah, to me, man, when I look at Shandon, I think he has a really good chance of starting as our slot corner because he's different than Arthur Milet. Arthur Milet is Mike Hilton. Shandon Sullivan is Cam Sutton. That's the dynamic when I watch Shandon. Started in the playoff game for them. Obviously, they played the Giants this year. Played well, man. He has some moments in that thing. The thing that I like about Shandon the most, and I got a film review that's going to come out on him too real soon, smart player. In the slot, both press man and when he's backed up off of guys. Understands where his leverage is, understands where the help is. Does a good job in terms of just defining that. Also in terms of just being competitive at the catch point. This is a guy that has had multiple interceptions in a season before. I think the most he's had in one season was 3. And that was not this year, but the year prior to that when he was in Green Bay. Had 3 picks his last year there. But when you're talking about Shandon, he's going to tackle. And he's going to play this game with great passion and effort. Some of the stuff that, like I said, really shows up on his tape, though, is just how confident and how much he communicates in coverage. When he's watching routes exchange, you don't really see him get fooled a lot. And I'm not going to sit here and act like he's elite man-to-man corner because that's not the case. But when you're talking about being a varsity corner that has started in this league, and rightfully so, that is what Shandon brings to the table. Honestly, it reminds me of the Arthur Milet signing. When Arthur Milet came from the Jets, it was another one of those, man, he's had some success. He's been around a little bit. It's not the most flashiest signings. He's not going to cost the most money. But this is a guy that's going to come in here and is going to give you legit NFL caliber corner play. That is what Shandon is going to bring to that room. And he's going to push Trey Norwood. He's going to push Arthur Milet. He's going to push anybody that they put in there because of what he's already done, not just early in his career, but just going back to his last game, man. Because that's, one of the things about football, man. When you see what a dude has done in his most recent performances, man, it does give you a little bit more of a barometer and just how you can potentially project where he's going to go to. But I do like him, man. I think that was a really good pickup. And like you already talked about, it's a 1-year deal, man, super low risk. I think it was the $1 million base vet minimum qualification for him. So really good in that aspect. But ultimately, we did not get that true slot corner in the draft. So with
this
Shandon,
is our way of addressing it.
This is the way of addressing it. Absolutely. And with Shandon also, man, 5'11". So still good size on it. He's not, this 5'8", 5'9". You're going to get this mismatch.
Isn't that Cam Sutton's height?
Yeah, that's definitely Cam Sutton's height. Whereas when you think of Mike Hilton, he was a little bit shorter. You know what I mean? But that's the thing that Shandon's going to bring us. So like I said, not as sexy of a name per se, but when you talk about what he's going to bring into this defense, we're going to feel good about
He was.
this, man.
I'm telling you, with the Packers, he was ranked as one of the top slot corners in the league.
He's a good player, man. He's a good player.
And he's got that dog in him.
Mm-hmm.
Is what he said on Twitter.
Oh,
he's got Venom as his profile pic, too.
Oh, I like that.
Ian Rappaport gave the tweet that said, Shandon Sullivan signing with the Steelers per his agent. He quote-tweeted it. Time to reclaim my island.
I like that. No, it was dope, man, watching him because obviously him and Pat P were in the same secondary. And just watching both of them dudes, man, Shandon played a ton. He was their slot. And the production was there. Like I said, he's still going to have some areas where, you always wanted to improve upon. And one of the things that I would say with him is just when he's coming in and out of his breaks with wide receivers, when they're running deep ins and deep outs, sometimes I feel like he's a little bit too respectful with his leverage, but at the same time, he knows the type of athlete that he is and what he is not. And I think part of that is why he gives guys the leverage respect that he does. But the one thing that I will say he does consistently is even if a guy is able to make a catch because of that part, he is always in position to close and make the tackle afterwards. And that just goes to the technique, of always being in position and understanding the strengths and weaknesses of what you're going to do out there. You're not going to be able to stop everything. And if you're not, this great elite athlete burner, great hips and all this other stuff, you got to figure out, all right, am I going to take away the deep ball? Am I going to take away the breaking routes? And for him, he does look like he plays it top down. He arrows on the side of, you're not going to beat me deep or to my leverage, and I'll tackle everything else. And I think that,
y'all going to see.
like that.
I like the energy he's coming in with.
Man, I like that, baby. Come on, bring that villain arc energy over here, man, but make sure you produce and back it up.
Obviously, it's going to be a competition, but I think day one, it feels like he's going to have the upper hand against a Mollett and a Trey Norwood based off his history.
If it's base and we're thinking run, Mollett will be out there first. If it's any passing situation or it's play action potentially, Chandon's the guy because Chandon can cover. Like, he's a good corner in that element of it, man. I just think that Mollett has the better physicality, the better like run blitzing, but that's why Mollett is, that's kind of his niche right there. But to me, Chandon, he is going to make hey, when we're talking about, man, it's third down, we need a corner. He's going to be the guy that's going to have way more reps than how we utilize Arthur Mollett in terms of just more of the run downs or the physical type plays and stuff like that.
That's the thing that can maybe keep Mollett on the roster.
Oh, yeah. Because I don't know if Trey Norwood is going to be able to do the run defending to the level that Arthur Mollett can. I don't think Trey Norwood or Mollett cover as well as Chandon either. And that's kind of like, when I think of Norwood, I'm like, bro, you better make sure your special teams tape is hot. Like, you got to be hot there. And then in preseason, showing that you could play both nickel and safety consistently with no errors. Because he's the one that's in danger to me. Like, he's the one that's got to have that antenna going up like, all right, Keanu Neal is here. Shannon Sullivan is here. Like, what we finna do, man?
You got to think James Pierre and Keller Witherspoon, too.
Absolutely.
With us bringing in Trice and JPJ.
They put them all on alert. And rightfully so. But that's what we're going to get, and that's what you want. You want that competition. You want guys to feel like they can't be complacent. They can't have a bad practice. Heck, you want them to feel like they can even miss practice. Because that's going to make them have to go out there and be their best selves. And that's ultimately going to help us, come season time.
I'm not seeing any more super chats right now. You have anything else?
I like it. Off the top of my head right now, I don't think I do. Bro, we even got a chance to slide a little LeBron in there, man. So, no, I don't think I have that off the top of my head, man.
Actually, speaking of other sports, you see your guy won on the PGA Tour.
Finau, he got me one? I did not. Won. Man,
I think it was the Mexico Open.
Look, with the draft this weekend, bro, I was oblivious to a lot, man. I did catch Braun.
He went toe-to-toe with Rahm.
Man, that's what I'm talking
about, beat him,
man.
Yeah, look.
What J's did he have on? That's the real question. I know he had some heat
some one lows.
Yeah, shout out to the ones.
Yeah, look at this. It was him and Ron.
Shout out to Finau, man.
Finau finished under 24. Ron finished under 21.
Where they play in Mexico?
It's called the Mexico Championship. The course was Dante Vallarta.
Dante Vallarta. Okay.
Where's that at? I'm not sure. I'm struggling.
Is it near like Puerto Vallarta?
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I've been to Puerto Vallarta. That's pretty cool. That's more like West Coast Mexico. Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, Puerto Vallarta is beautiful though, man. Beautiful little spot. I like it though, man. Shout out to Finau then, man. Shout out to the homie Tony Finau, man, and his fire shoes because he stayed with some shoe heat. And that's why, I always talk my shoes, but that's on the shoe channel, Kicking It with Moats. But other than that, man, I think we're good. So shoot, man. I ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
I don't have much more to add. No.
We back in here on Wednesday. Obviously, TG will be pulling up with us, man. And then, another show on Thursday. But other than that, man, I hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. Hope y'all had a good NFL draft weekend, man. We appreciate y'all once again for tapping in with us, not just over here, but even supporting Deke on the Bleacher Report app as well, man. So hit that like button on the way out. Subscribe if you have not done so. But whatever y'all do, y'all stay safe and keep living y'all best life. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. And until next time, baby.
Peace.